Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So I'm back at it, man. I was gonna quit because I was gonna stop because I don't want to entertain these lames. That's why I stopped. I actually was gonna stop because I don't want to entertain no lames, man. It's just like it's certain people that get off on your energy. What they've been calling energy vampires or something like that. You know, I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all about knocking the morale of these people down. So, you know, I'm trying to let it be as less exciting as possible so they can just go ahead and die. And if you think I'm being carnal for saying that, that's not what it is. We're in full-time war, man, with these secret society type of lames that can't face me in real life as a real man. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's a big war going on, and we on our job. You know what I'm saying? So what you don't know is I was gonna stop doing videos for like a year. I was gonna stop for a whole year because I don't like entertaining these lames. You know what I'm saying? I know they beneath me. I know they can't even speak their voice in my presence. That's what I'm saying. And in my world, where I come from, if you can't speak to a man's face, you listen. You fooling yourself thinking you a real man. In whose world? Who world? In what world? A galactic world? Planet Pluto? Planet Mercury? You're a real man in Planet Mercury. You ain't a real man in my world. I can come, listen, man, I already done checked this whole building. And see, as soon as I tap the video, you hear all this talking, right? Them lames, bro. That's why I stopped doing it for people like that. I stopped doing videos. I was gonna stop doing videos for lame dudes like that think they smart. You know, I don't know what it is. You tell me what it is. Because I'm official over here, buddy. I'm official. If for you to even put your mouth on me is a dream and fantasy, I call it fantasy football. How fitting is that for Super Bowl Sunday? It's fantasy football. You know what fantasy football is? Where you play like you a player in this game, and you're playing against these other people, other stars. It's fantasy football. You know, you're not really in the league. You're not really in my league. You're out of my league, buddy. And I guess that sums it up. I don't let people who think they join the devil think you got to do more than join the devil to beat us, buddy. We beat the devil, buddy. You got to do more than join the devil. And I mean that 100. I'm talking about people who sell their souls to him and do all the rituals. I'm talking about all of that. You got to do more than that to compete with us, buddy, over here. See, you can go out there to them lames and these white boys and these black people that's ignorant of witchcraft, and you know, you spook them. You spook them. That's another thing. You listen, buddy. You don't spook me at all, buddy. I done been around people that call bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? Imagine your voice dictated anything here. That's what I'm saying. Nothing. Your voice dictates nothing. Okay? You a lame boy in New York. Okay? Black people got the biggest problem with opening their mouth. That's why y'all get capped all the time, bro. No cap. You get killed because you come out here and you play with people. Right? You come out your house and think you the only one black. We ghetto over here too. This the hood over here too. That's how you gotta say it, man. In 2026, this the hood over here too, sucker. Without you, without me knowing you. This is the hood over here, right? Okay, this is why a lame dude get capped, bro, and get put in the grave. He think he the only one from the hood. I don't got that attitude. I don't have that attitude where I'm the only one from the hood. I don't have that. Listen, what am I doing right now? Putting lame dudes in their place. That's why I wanted to stop it altogether, man, because I feel like lame dudes don't get, I mean, you know, I gotta graduate that level. You know what I'm saying? I'm way beyond that level. I'm putting $1 million in Colombia. I'm dealing with them dudes out there don't make no $1 million transactions. Oh yeah, I'm gonna pull the money card. I'm gonna pull, cause it shows what you doing in life. It shows what you doing in life. And if you was real, eventually you gonna be doing something in the million bracket. At least in the million bracket. If you ain't doing in the million bracket, bro, listen. I'm doing what I gotta do. What you doing? What you doing, bro? You a bum, bro. That's what I'm saying. You a New York bum. You come a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? I done put $1 million out there in the world, buddy. You ain't never done that. That's what I'm saying. I don't let, listen, yo. I don't let lame dudes in my lane. Okay? I don't care if you're a prisoner, you're an inmate. That don't mean you, listen, that don't mean you in my lane because you went to prison. I done been around somebody on death row. You know what death row is? You know what death row is? The real death row. I done been around a death row inmate, buddy. Death row. That's what we talking about. Death row, sucker. The real, not the Tupac death row. I done been around somebody on real death row. And he, you know what he called me? He called me cold-hearted. Somebody that's on death row call you cold-hearted, and now don't it add up? I don't play no games, bruh. I'm 100. That's what I'm saying, buddy. I ain't got nothing to prove like a little teenager, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna tell you what type of dude I am, in case this building don't know yet. I will come out there and run out there and rush and chase you down, bro. I'm a stepper for real. I'll come chase you down, bruh. I done did it right here in the streets of New York, right here in Brooklyn. A dude talking out his mouth, I went and chased him down. You don't want to see me, bro? Keep your mouth closed when the master is speaking. Keep your mouth closed, buddy. Because I'll come and chase you down. That's what I want to hear. Complete silence. Now say something now. Say something now. If you bad, say something now. Say something now. You bad, say something now. You ain't built like that, buddy. Now, what I'm talking about is this. Before I was rudely interrupted. That was that chance, that person to turn up if they got it in them. They ain't built like that, bro. And that's why I just won again. No, because I know you still out there, right? And if you built like that, if you was built like that when you politic, I expect you to speak up if you're a politician. If you're a street politician, you ain't gonna listen. When I say that, you gonna speak up. And you ain't built like that. That's what I'm talking about. I don't let lame dudes like that even think that. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying. Am I being a bully? No, I'm not being a bully. Because I wouldn't have said nothing if that person would have been talking out there like I ain't a street dude. Listen, bro, I wouldn't have said nothing. I would have clarified why I ain't doing videos no more. I would have clarified that, which is because of lame dudes, right? I don't entertain suckers. I don't entertain suckers. You a hip hop sucker. This is the streets. I listen to hip hop and it resonates to my life. You listen to hip hop and you want it to resonate to your life. You see the difference? I listen to hip hop and it resonates to my life. You listen to hip hop and want it to resonate to your life. Sucker. Yeah. Now, on the note of hip hop, I just bodied a couple rappers as a prophet. A prophet is a lion, buddy. Not a liar, a lion. I'm a lion, buddy. I roar. That's what I'm supposed to do. And if you're stupid enough to hear the roar and think it's a game, you must be retarded. You must be. Okay? Listen, let me tell you something. I bodied a couple rappers, 3 of them. And we're going to go through the list. I found the receipts on Bizzy Bone. Talking about he didn't know what a hammer was on top of the gun. He didn't know what a hammer was. He asked, and if you want to go look up the video, it's May 30th, 2021. Having shots with Bizzy Bone. Having shots of scotch with Bizzy Bone. You can go look it up on his video, on his page, Jam TV. That's Bizzy Bone's YouTube page is Jam TV, right? So you can scroll down the live, and you'll find it won't take long because he ain't got hundreds and hundreds of videos. So it's gonna go back to May 30th, 2021. You can go look it up, and it's gonna be entitled "Having Shots with Bizzy Bone." Having shots of scotch with Bizzy Bone. Right? In the video, at the 50, I'll say start at the 55 mark, so you can come right in. It's at the 57 mark. Okay, so Bizzy Bone, they talk about guns all his life. This is a rapper. He said, somebody asked him what his favorite gun is. He said a 38 and a 357, right? Then he talk about guns that you don't have to pull what he called the thing on the back. What's the thing on the back? He asked the live, what's the thing on the back? They quickly tried to make him recover. A person on live had to tell Bizzy Bone to talk about guns all the time what it was. It was a hammer. How you a rapper and don't know what the term hammer is and you from the ghetto? I went and found the receipts. I went and found the video. And my thing is this. This is my thing. I was listening as a fan at that time. At that moment, just in case you thought I was listening as a hater or a butthurt person or a mad rapper. Nah, I wasn't like that at all. I was listening as a fan, right? And I'm just sitting back, just like anybody. And if a dog sense anything wrong, it's gonna bark. I'm like, oh, well, hold up. How Bizzy Bone don't know what a hammer is on the gun? And you a rapper, you don't listen to all these New York rappers, you don't listen to a million rappers. That includes underground too. I know people up through your demos and everything. How in the world you gonna not know what a hammer is as much as Bizzy Bone talk about guns and banging and pop pow and all of this stuff in his music? How he don't know what a hammer is? The person on live has to tell him. You can go find it. I finally found the video, man. That's why I'm trying to show you I'm always credible. My point is this, because I'm off of that. I actually pulled down the video that I did on him. His little fans that listen, that be jocking him, half of them want to have sex with him, right? Particularly Bizzy Bone. You know, I'm just saying. I know he's a married man, but I'm just saying half of them just jocking him for the wrong reason, or they want a record deal. So they hollered at me talking about, I'm gonna get the attention I want. I'm gonna get the attention I want. But I'm right. You jocking him. I'm right. I've said nothing wrong. I'm right. That's all I'm talking about. And I think low key his response was, that's absurd. Somebody that don't got no money, that's absurd. Okay. But I thought you was the one, wasn't you the Bone Thugs-n-Harmony that was homeless? Okay, so you should always be humble enough to listen to a man that ain't got no money. Y'all was homeless. Oh, you know, I guess people forgot where they come from, as they say. That's okay, listen. Hey, somebody hollered at me talking about, oh, you gonna get the attention that you want. Oh, man, listen, bro, listen. Man, listen, I'm 100, bro. I'm 100, man. Listen, if you, that tells me you ain't real yourself. Cause I'm gonna go check what it was that you said. I'm gonna go check it. I gave all the details in the video. I'm gonna go check it, but you the type of clown that's just a fan, you blindly defend people. Which my point is this: if it's Bizzy Bone that from Bone Thugs and Harmony talking about guns all the time. They talking about guns all the time. Right or wrong? They talking about guns all the time. How in the world Bizzy don't know what a hammer is on a gun? That's the easiest thing to understand. I can see if it was the pin inside the gun, some little thing inside. Okay, I give you a pass on that. I don't know what all the parts in the gun and all of that. But the hammer on the outside? Come on, bro. Come on. You gotta feel me on that, man. Bone, but my point is this: Bone talk about guns too much. That it would be if it was Common, the conscious rapper, the Common. Now, if he was talking about guns and he didn't know what the hammer was, okay, I give him a pass because he ain't out here talking about guns all the time. But you're talking about guns all the time, bruh. Come on, let's for Bone Thugs and for Harmony's fans. Come on now. How in the world is that's the trigger right there? No pun intended. The trigger is how Bone don't know what a hammer is on a gun. All these bucks to the bang, pop, pow, buck to the bang. So I went and found the receipt and posted it on my page freshly on my Facebook page. So I won't lose it again, but I already know what it is. You know what I'm saying? I already know where it's at. See, my memory is on point, boy. So if y'all ever think I'm out here crazy, I lost my mind, yes, listen, buddy, I can pull up receipts from 4 years ago. I can pull up receipts from years and years and years and years, something I done heard, sound bites I done heard on the internet. I can pull it up from years and years. I don't say nothing out my mouth on the man that ain't true. In the full context I think about that. Imagine that. That ain't part of being 100, bro. I ain't gonna ever put nothing on somebody's name that I can't pull up the receipts in its full entirety. I sit and went through the video and found it. I sit and sat through the video. First I went through it, I was like, that ain't it. I went through about 2 times. The 3rd time, I'm like, okay, boom, there it is right there. Man, yo, that's how you know I ain't lost my mind. Now, the test is, go do your homework on my other page, Cashmere Spiritual Warfare. That's what it's called, Cashmere, like the fabric, Cashmere Spiritual Warfare. Now go find hold up. Well, I probably got random videos where I'm talking about rappers. You might find it in that. But anyway, man, that's the receipts. That's the receipt. Okay, the second receipt is on Fat Joe. My thing with Fat Joe is this, man. This is why I wanted to talk about coming to these videos. This is an introduction. And it's good for me to check a couple people before I come into everything. So Fat Joe, my thing, I got two things with Fat Joe. My first thing with Fat Joe that rubbed me the wrong way. First of all, let me say this. I was a big Pun fan back in the day. I think he how he carried himself. A big guy, you know what I'm saying? He did it as far as weight. He came off as more believable than even Biggie. No one even thought about it. Big Pun was so believable in who he was. My point is, we didn't care nothing about how much weight he had on him, because he carried it right. And so I always like Big Pun, you know what I'm saying? That's part of the 90s. If you really think about it. I Don't Want to Be a Player No More, that soundtrack, that track, you know what I'm saying? That's in everybody's head. They come from the 90s, you know what I'm saying? So, that goes without saying, bro. But, that's, I just want to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So I done had times where I sat down and just listened to Big Pun and nothing else was going on. And I just sat down and listened, you know what I'm saying, to a person that came up with Fat Joe. Okay, so let's clarify that. So that you know where it's coming from. It's not coming from this malicious place. It's just showing people their ways, bro. It's just showing people the contradictions. You know, and more so the fans need to understand, you know, because the fans is the ones that put people out here like they bigger than life. And the truth is, man, I'm gonna put everything in conclusion right now. Most of these dudes is just like us, humans like us, man. They ain't really done a lot of, they done crimes and everything, but it's average. It's average. You know what I'm saying? It's average. It's basically average. Now, Freeway Ricky was a real drug dealer. That's a drug dealer from the California. That's Freeway Ricky. Now you talking Frank Lucas. Now you talking about now you talking about drug dealers. You know what I mean? Frank Lucas, Freeway Ricky. You know what I mean? That now you talking about drug dealers. Everybody else was scrambling around. You know what I mean? That's what these dudes was doing, basically scrambling around. And listen, it's like, I'm not saying you're not 100. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's an exaggeration and a contradiction. My thing is this, and it's better to say this right here. My thing is not even the exaggeration right here. My thing is the contradiction. You know, my thing is this also, with saying the contradiction. Everybody's gonna contradict themselves. Everybody, even me. You might feel I contradict myself right now for being a Christian. But you know, it's certain politics I have to address because my name was deep in this is for me. You gotta hear me out. You don't know how famous I am in these streets. You don't know how deep my name run in these politics, in these streets. And so when you hear me talk in reference to certain things, it is actually clearing up the misinformation from the past. You understand me? Please understand that. Please understand that. That's not trying to be tough today or a gangster or a street person. I'm a soldier. I do believe in carrying arms. I do believe in that. You know, yeah, because there's a pure way to protect yourself. There's a pure way to protect yourself and arm yourself. I do believe in that wholeheartedly. You know, if in a perfect world, I would have about 5, 8, 10 guns right now. Cause what my thing is this. It sobers up the mind of lame dudes. The problem in the world is lames, bro. The real ones stick to codes. We come outside, we hold our head when we go to the bodegas. We go to the grocery store, we 100 everywhere we go. So how we the problem? Think about it. A real one go to the store, he 100. He ain't out there trying to start no problems with nobody. I'm talking about a killer. When he go to the bodega, he trying to start problems. Somebody ain't trying to go to jail. It's the lames, that's what I'm telling you. Them the ones that don't even know the rules. They don't know nothing. They out there just thinking, I mean, you know, trying their best to get in politics. They don't even know how to do it and what they doing. You know, a real one go out there, hold his head, go get his groceries, come back home. When he go in the store, you think he trying to challenge somebody. Think about that, man. He gonna think that's beneath him anyway. I'm in here as a man trying to mind my business, you know what I'm saying, trying to get, you know what I'm saying, it ain't even, you know, I'm trying to get my groceries. I ain't even think about them things. I'm thinking about this food I'm about to eat. That's what I'm thinking about. You see what's on my mind? This food is on my mind. I ain't thinking about you, boy. And some people come in the store like a knucklehead, bruh. Asking, you know, now it'd be one thing if somebody tried you, but trying you, saying something under their breath and all that. Come on, man, that's a lame, bro. That's a loser, man. You know what I'm saying? A real one don't have, and my point is this, a real one don't come out here starting no problems. They don't. If you listen, you gotta pay attention to this stuff. Even for Christians that's in the streets, this can be helpful to you. Yeah. You Yeah, I ain't cussing. I ain't gonna be doing that. No, you know, I think I get my point across without cussing. I ain't gonna be doing that. I'm gonna stop that. Look, man, the problem out here, listen, let this resonate for real. The problem out here is these lames, bro. And a real one gonna realize this. If you real, you gonna realize, cause when you go outside as a real one, are you out there for problems? You're real, but are you out there to do a crime in the store? No. When you're out there, is your mind on trying somebody? Cause you're real. Cause you got a gun on you. Are you out there to try somebody? No. So who provokes the problem? Somebody that don't know rules and regulations, man, and just stuck on stupid, bro. That's what I'm saying. That's why I can go through. I done been here in Brooklyn how many months? November, December, January, February, going on 4 months. Hold up. Yeah, I forgot. I came here in October. Yeah, that's right. November, December, January. Yeah, it's going on 4 months, man. Why I ain't had no problem? Oh, I checked a couple people. Oh yeah, I checked. Yeah. That's gonna listen. In a perfect world, I would not like to have checked nobody, but I was out here in the streets. This is why I don't take nothing off these people in facilities. Because I check people in the streets, bro, and I don't think you believe that. I don't think you believe it. I think you're still skeptical. I check people in the streets. What part of that you don't understand? Go ask about me right here on Utica. Going up towards Eastern Parkway, them blocks up there, over there. I checked somebody, the streets was like, yo. 2 dudes like, yo. Cause it's how I did it. I ran up on him. Nah, he said something, I just lost it, bro. I just lost it. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm a Christian, but I'm human too, bro. Like I have that losing type of thing in me, where I just lose it and I run after you. I'm that type of person. That's why I'm trying to say, yo, just stay in your lane, bro. Please. Like, I got that thing where I just lose it, bro. This dude said something, and I let it go almost. I almost let it go. I had some pizza, you know what I'm saying? There wasn't nothing but a player here. I had pizza, you feel me? You know what I mean? I'm buying stuff, I'm spending money with the hood. See, it's certain things real ones look at. I'm spending money with the hood, you know what I'm saying? If I hate you, I ain't gonna spend no money with you. Man, I ain't buying nothing from you. I ain't buying nothing. I came to Brooklyn, right? I done lived here many times, if you don't know. I done lived in East New York. Come on, man, stop playing with me, bro. I done lived in East New York. I done lived in neighborhoods you might not even know. Knickerbocker. I lived in Knickerbocker, off of Knickerbocker. Working for Ready, Willing, and Able. That's the Knickerbocker neighborhood. Know what I mean? I done stayed in Bed-Stuy, right down the street from Marcy Avenue. I walked through Marcy. And I'm not saying that in the typical way. I'm just letting you know what kind of people I was around. I remember when Fulton and Marcy Avenue had the Burger King right there at the corner. If you ain't from here, you don't know what I'm talking about. Now they got the TD Bank down there. So you see, I done been there recently too. Come on, stop playing with me, bro. What that tells you, I've been through there recently, bro. And what that tells you, I've been around Brooklyn nights all day, bro. Drinking, out there on the block, everything, man. Stop playing, bro. And you know, guess what? In that neighborhood, Bed-Stuy, I never had no problems. See, that's what my point is. Real ones starts no problems. That's how I know it's a real neighborhood. Because they point A to point B and ain't nobody they just trying to get from point A to point B. And more than anything else, when the real one goes outside, we're just trying to enjoy our day. I'm just trying to enjoy my night, right? Right. So I don't want no kind of problems. That's gonna mess up my day. Even if I check somebody, that's not the highlight of my day. I don't want to argue with nobody. I don't want to fight nobody. That's what a real one gonna tell you. I ain't out here trying to fight. Nah, I don't want no confusion. I don't want no confusion, basically. So when I was in Bed-Stuy, I ain't had no problems with nobody. And listen, I wasn't intimidating nobody. I wasn't challenging nobody. Nobody wasn't challenging me. They wasn't bound down. I wasn't bound down either. That's what I expect you to do as a real one. I don't expect nobody to bow down. But if you a lame and you out of pocket, bro, listen, nobody can't save you, bro. Nobody can't save you when you make mistakes, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's a different situation. But, I don't expect nobody to bow down to me. I don't like people that bow down, because if you was with me, you'll bow down to other people. I don't ask nobody to bow. I'm glad I'm saying this. I don't ask no one to bow down to me. That's not my attitude. Because it doesn't make sense to me. You're a grown man. Why would you be bound down to another man? This is why I feel like I can speak what I want to speak. Because you're a man. I'm a man. You should be man enough to take whatever I got to say. And especially if you're out of pocket. Especially, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I live with a woman. Let me tell you my little background as far as New York go. Before I even ever came to New York, I had already lived with 3 women that lived in New York. Hold up. That's 3 that got their own place, their own pad, not my money, they money. I don't date broke women. Women that got their own place to live. I stayed with 3 women from New York that lived here, went to school here, everything. That's the state, right? 2 from the city, from New York City, and 1 from Buffalo. The girl from Buffalo met Rick James as a kid. Rick James, as in the artist Rick James. Come on, man, stop playing with me, bro. I dated a woman that Rick James saw. He saw her. Okay, you follow me? You follow me? Okay. That's the second New York woman. Well, it's the first woman born in New York, the state of New York. Well, second. That's the second. So, the first woman that I lived with that lived in New York, she was originally from Barbados, an island woman. You know what I'm saying? She went to school in the Bronx, you know what I mean? But she obviously wasn't born in New York. The second one was, that's actually, hold up. The very first, was a woman from the Bronx. No lie, the South Bronx. So I already lived with a woman from the South Bronx. That's why I even came to New York. You follow me, right? Okay, so before I came to New York City, I had already lived with New Yorkers. That's first and foremost for you to understand here, right? I lived with a woman from the South Bronx, the old school South Bronx. That's harder. That's worse. She used to sell cocaine in the clubs, and she used to travel with the Yankees. Oh, that's hard, buddy. She used to travel with the Yankees. She started naming names. I ain't even know the names. You know, these Yankee baseball players, especially back in the day. I mean, some names might some names might ring bells now, but she was naming names that was old school when she was a kid in the 70s. She was like in her 20s in the 70s and 80s. So she was in the South Bronx in her 20s in the 70s and the 80s, right? Right, that real old school, real New York City. So I lived with her first. Me and her used to drink Four Locos, smoke weed, watch the video. She the one got me back into football. I don't watch football now, but she the one got me back into the game because me and her smoked weed and drank Four Locos and watched the game. Okay, so That's the first female. The second one was from the Bronx, from the Buffalo. The woman I was telling you about that Rick James saw her when she was a kid. Okay, boom. The third one was from Barbados, like I told you. I had it backwards. It's because maybe the third one been in my life recently. That's why. And those the three women I live with, and that third one from Barbados went to school in the Bronx too. So there you have it, man. I had already been around New York dudes, New York people. When I was a kid, I used to cop weed from a dude from Brooklyn. His whole family was from Brooklyn. Whole family. Whole family was from Brooklyn, okay? That's when I was a kid. And me personally, I've been around New York people since I was a teenager. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. When I came to New York, I came straight to Bed-Stuy. Let that resonate. I came straight to Bed-Stuy when I came to New York. I didn't go to Manhattan. I didn't go to Harlem. I didn't go to any Central Park. I'm exaggerating. I'm being funny. I ain't go to Central Park. So I came straight to Bed-Stuy, bro. If you ever doubt me, man, I came straight to Bed-Stuy. That's why I know what's hard in Brooklyn. Now, the name might scare these lames, you feel me, that don't know Brooklyn. They think all of this is the same. Brooklyn ain't one and the same, bruh. And you gotta live here to know that. All of Brooklyn ain't hardcore like that, nah. Just like any city, man. You got your good parts, you got your bad parts. That's just like that. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed in Bed-Stuy, man. I got love, and I showed love, and love was given to me. You know what I'm saying? The gang stalkers came in from the, that's just what it is, them lame dudes. But I already got love before that time even came, before this time even came. Let's make it clear. So I stayed in the Armory, the homeless shelter, the Armory. Everybody in Brooklyn know what that is in Bed-Stuy, the big Armory on Atlantic Avenue. All right, right across the street from the gas station. Then you go down from the gas station, you got the Muslim, the mosque on the left side, and the lab where you can get on the internet on that same block, and then you hit the right side, you got the whole strip. So I mean, that was my stomping grounds. That was my stomping grounds. I ain't getting no hate. I wasn't hiding nothing. People see me, and I was vulnerable because I was a young dude. A young dude gonna be vulnerable. I'm out there drinking, I'm gonna be vulnerable. I was out there drinking, I'm vulnerable. People gonna see if you fake or not. They gonna see if you got some. They gonna see how you interact with family and children or not. I stayed in the whole neighborhood. Nobody ain't see nothing. That's why I have a problem with these secret society people. Because I got too much credibility where I've been through these neighborhoods, and if there was anything shaky and funny in me, how would I have went through those neighborhoods and I'm around all the community? I'm not in like how I am now. I wasn't like that then. I was out in the blocks chilling. I was walking around just like somebody would just coming to New York. I was walking around everything. Enjoying my days just because kind of stuff. Walking around just because. That's just like somebody that's new to New York. I was walking around just because, you know what I'm saying? So if there was anything funny in me, that's why people take offense to people like you. Because whatever made you feel you above the streets and God's people, buddy, you playing yourself all day. You playing yourself all day, bro. You playing yourself beyond playing yourself. Ain't nobody believing that, man. I've been through too many hoods. I've been through too many people. If I ain't lived there, I've been around somebody. If you come to New York, I lived in Harlem. I lived in Staten Island. Okay? And I just came from Jamaica just now in Queens. I just came from there. I was walking back and forth to Southside Jamaica to bust down my stamps. Ain't nobody see nothing funny in me. That's why I trip. That's why I like, man. That's why we feel like, man, people like y'all are just stuck on retarded, bro. It's like the only way is to put a bullet in their head. You know what I'm saying? But we ain't doing it that way. We gonna let God do it His way. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't nothing that they got on us. It ain't nothing that they right about. If you go through 1 million people, how in the world you make it if something was wrong with you? How you make it if you was some type of predator or something? How you make it through Bed-Stuy, East New York? Oh yeah, East New York too. I live there. New Lots Avenue. How could I forget that? New Lots Avenue. How you gonna go through Bed-Stuy and I'm just chilling. Not even like I am now from point A to point B because all this stuff going on. I'm just walking around there chilling, everything just like on the block, bro. You know what I mean? I was over there, New Lots Avenue, by the barber shop, all the way on the same down the street from the barber shop. On the left-hand side, library across the street from the graveyard. I know about all that, man. That's East New York, man. Library right across the street from the graveyard. Yeah, stop playing. I don't forget nothing. I can go anywhere and if I live there and have a sense of direction. I know exactly where I'm at for the most part. For the most part, I know exactly where I'm at for the most part. So you know, man, that's just like we can't let people, you know, that don't got no reputation, man, and just come out here and manipulate with money. You know, see, this is why I charge the hood in the streets, man. Y'all took money from these people, man, and that's how they even got in. See, we've been a gatekeeper over the streets for a long time until now. Because y'all let these people in here. That's why they arrogant like that, man, and all of that now. Because y'all let them in. Yeah, you did. And see, I got a tax on that. That's why I chastise you. You know you took money from these people. Don't lie to me. You took money from these people. You took money from them. You like a food stamp case. It's one thing to have food stamps. It's one thing to be a food stamp case. You a food stamp case. Taking money from these people to gang stalk other people. And I don't care what it's about. I don't care if it's about children or whatever. The streets don't care. I don't care. If you ain't got no charges, I don't care. Because I'm looking at a different dynamic of, yo, you like, listen, bro, like, black people get accused of stuff all the time. That's the first red flag for me. I'm gonna see a black dude, and he from North Carolina. Oh, that's 2 red flags. Oh, that's a brother. That's a brother. Hold up. Nah. That's why they gotta get all these weirdos, bro, and people that don't know black people. They gotta get all them type of people, man. Cause if you tell me as a black man, oh, this dude is from North Carolina, I'm already sizing him up as a kind of good, sweet kind of dude. No homo or nothing, like, you know what I'm saying? Not soft. Just a good-hearted person, you know, good-natured person, probably raised good and everything like that. I'm looking for the good part in that person. I'm gonna look for that. If he's from North Carolina, I'm gonna look for this good nature. You know what I mean? That's what a real cultured American that done lived around would think about. You know, I'm gonna look for this good-natured person, good-hearted person. They got good manners and mannerisms and things like that. That would have been the 2 red flags. A black brother, young. Oh, that would have been the 3rd too. He young. Imagine him thinking like, I mean, he ain't even the age that usually pedophiles are. They're not. They're usually in there like, yeah, you know. Way younger and older, way older. Nah, this dude on young stuff halfway. You listen how he turn up on people. He young. Now, can you imagine him out there talking like this, messing with kids? It don't add up for a smart person. It's like, oh, nah, too many red flags. That dude 100. He just done turned up. He just done turned up. Like, He just turned up. And then he checking people in Brooklyn. Like, back to that. I checked three. I checked 3 situations in Brooklyn since I've been back. Yeah, I'm glad I'm getting back on this because I want to finish this. When I first came to Brooklyn, being that I lived here, there was a certain sense of sentimental value, I guess you could say. Sentimental value of this community. So I came in knowing all this stuff with the gang stalkers, all these lame dudes, that I was gonna come in and show love. This is what I do. This is what real ones do. If I'm not from your city, if I'm not from your community, I come in showing love until people try me. I'm gonna give love, because that's what I'm supposed to do. If you ain't done nothing to me and everything, and your community ain't gang stalking me, I'm gonna come in and show love. I'm gonna show love. And I had made up my mind. I'm gonna come here. I actually said this. I'm gonna show love because that's how I want it to be. That's how I want it to be. I'm gonna show love but I'm smart enough to know that the gang stalkers in full effect, right? So they're gonna come in and manipulate and all of that. We already know that. So until I see manipulation and anything like that, before I see any signs of manipulation, I'm gonna show love consistently. See, a real one is not just about violence, we're about love too. But it's complicated, isn't it? It's complicated to give love, you know what I'm saying? It is. Because some people take it for granted, some people step on it, some people will use it, abuse it. You know, and they'll think that you don't have the capability of hating them because you show love. Just because you show love, they think you can't hate them. That's what a lame gonna do. A real one is gonna cherish your love. I'm glad you showing love. I'm glad you treating me with love. I appreciate that. Now, lame is gonna think he harder than you because you in a position of love. You gonna come out to the block showing love. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You out here eating good. You know what I'm saying? Eating pizza and everything, walking around. You know what I mean? He gonna think, oh, look at this sucker out here in front and everything. But you're chilling. You know what I'm saying? So that case, that day, when I got the pizza, somebody said something out of pocket and I ran up on him. I walked across the street. This is the first time I checked somebody here. I ran across the street. He ran across the street, right? I walked across the street. Right? And he said something when I walked past him. So I almost let it go. But I was just triggered. I just ran across the street and I checked him. I asked him, did he say something? When I asked you, did you say something? And you say no, you a sucker. I took your manhood because you said something out your mouth that you can't back up. Your word should be your bond. If you say something about somebody, you should be able to stand on that as a man. That's how I feel. And that goes for anybody in my politics, anything they walking around here thinking and saying. If you can't refresh that, what you just said, you a lame. You ain't a man. If I say something out my mouth, I can say that I said it. I'm not gonna sit up and say, well, man, I didn't really say that. No, I didn't say that. I checked somebody in this building. I was going up the stairs, the dude say something out of his mouth. I went into his pod and found him. And I asked him. This is when I first got here. I didn't even know what this building was. I didn't even know how it was built. I went and found him in this building. That's how you know I'm a street dude. Listen, I didn't know what this building was. I heard somebody talking on a certain floor. I said, yo, did you say something to me? Oh, nah, I didn't say nothing. Nah, that's a sucker, bro. That's the exact same response I expect every time for you to say you didn't say nothing and I know you a sucker. I know I took your manhood and you didn't even realize it. Maybe you didn't even have it in the beginning. You don't care about it. You don't know when somebody done it to you. If I said something out my mouth and I know I said something to you and you ask me, I done done it before. Somebody asked me, did you say something? Were you talking about me? I said, yeah, I'm talking about you. I've done it. So I can honestly say that I was saying something about someone and they walked by, and when they asked me, did I say something, was I talking about them? That's what he said. I said, yeah, I'm talking about you. I said it just like that. I said it just like that, buddy. And he could have did whatever he wanted to do. See, I was raised by two masculine men. Masculine. And anybody that knows, if you're raised by masculine men, you gonna get ran over if you a punk. You can't, two masculine men raising you gonna bump you around till you grow muscles, until you tough. This is why I'm like this. It's one thing to argue with a punk. It's one thing to argue with a masculine man. Have you ever argued with a masculine man? You ain't never argued with a real man, have you? That's what I'm saying, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. Man. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's why they think you fake, because they ain't got no because it sounds so real, it's fake to them. Because you ain't been raised by no masculine men. I've been around masculine men, bro. Bulls that make money also. Bulls that got money. Huh? Come on, bro. Come on, man. You just bit off more you could chew, buddy. You can't get it down, can you? Let me tell you something, man. Let me tell you something. I checked somebody in this building more than one time. The other time, somebody came through this door, and I had something waiting for him. That's why he backed up out the door. Okay? Just in case you ever doubt me. Just like the dude closed the door like he triggered me, like he got me on something I said wrong or something. Lame, low-level amateurs. I'm a master, buddy. Little punk. Yeah, you. When I say something, if I say something about a man, I can back it up. I can tell him to his face, yeah, I said it about you. And that's the difference. Now, if you ain't never done that in your life, and you go around asking people, do they say something, and then you say they ain't no man, but you ain't never in your life been challenged with somebody asked you something, and you said, yeah, I'm talking to you, to your face, as another grown man, not a boy, a grown man, then you have the right to hold people to the standard that you've lived. I'm just holding you to the standard that I've lived. If a man asks me something and say, did you just say something about me? I say, yeah, buddy. Yeah, you want to know why? You want me to tell you why? I'll tell you why. You want to know? You et cetera, you this and that, this is what you did, this and that, the third. This is why. Okay? I've done it before. You can't find no holes in my stories, buddy, and that's what street people gonna try to do. You gonna try to listen, they good for that. Hey, tell the truth. They good for trying to find holes in your story, ain't they? But you can't find them. Nothing credible. Nothing credible. Nothing with receipts. Real receipts, where with the full details. The receipt got all the details on it, don't it? A receipt ain't a receipt with all the details, without all the details. You got these fake receipts with half detail. Hold up, You went in the store and got cheese, bread, onions, pickles. They hand you a half receipt, Kool-Aid and chips. Oh, no, I ain't going to the store and get no Kool-Aid and chips. I got pickles, cheese, bread. I want my food. This is the full receipt right here. I want my refund. I ain't getting no Kool-Aid and chips. I got more than that. So, in 2026, if your receipt don't have all the details, buddy, you ain't got no receipts. That's 7 out. You ain't got no receipt. You ain't got all the details on the receipt, sucker. What's all the details on the receipt? No fake receipts. I pull up real receipts. I got all the details. You can go back and look at that Busy Bone video, having shots with, sound like a Kim Kardashian kind of thing. Having shots of scotch with Busy Bone. Like that Chloe, you remember Chloe used to do stuff like, she got a little spin off, Chloe doing this, Chloe doing that. That's what I got it from. Having shots of scotch with Busy Bone. Okay, so anyway, man. Second, back to Fat Joe. My thing with Fat Joe is this is the first thing that raised a red flag with me. Fat Joe from the Bronx, the rapper Fat Joe. I was down in Florida, Tampa, Florida one day. I think I was on the streets too, homeless. And I was just listening. You know how you listen to videos and everything. You try to encourage yourself for watching these videos and all this stuff. And you're on the streets, you watching all them videos. That's where I actually saw it, man. You know, and he was saying something about when you become if you did stuff out in the streets, robbing people and all of this and everything, et cetera, woo, 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 right? And then you become a born again Christian. I went and found a video tonight. When you become a born again Christian, you know people ain't trying to hear that. You know, you say you done all this stuff, but you say I'm born again. And he said families ain't trying to hear that and et cetera, et cetera. I don't care what family trying to hear. If you saved, God is gonna fight for you. And then what make it so bad, it's the video. If you go back, it's the Fat Joe video that was about 7 years ago. As of today, February the 8th? February 8th, 2026. 7 years. So it's the Breakfast Club interview where he got on a black shirt with the cross on it. It's like towards the end. About a little over the quarter of the end to the end. More than the quarter to the end. About there, right? So he goes, yeah, you the streets ain't trying to hear it if you say I'm born again. This dude got a cross on while he's saying this. This is what makes it so funny. Who are you to talk about the rules and regulations for a Christian? That's how I'm taking it. Once that person's born again, he's on our side. Now, here's the thing. You may say, I'm not in your lane. Why are you talking about things that you're not doing? Well, I'm talking about a mentality that, first of all, I keep up to date on. I keep my ears to the streets, and I keep my eyes to the streets, and I keep my head on a swivel. So any person that's been born again, that's a Christian, that had any street background, I done felonies. Okay, let's get that very clear. I done felonies. Okay, so yeah. So you understand, right? So if you're a Christian, you still gonna see things as they move. Does that make sense? Because you're a Christian, but you ain't gonna be blind to the streets, to the rules and regulations and the updates of the rules and regulations. you're going to be able to listen to these people and know what it means. You know what I'm saying? I don't lose my mind because I became a Christian. So that's who I am. Somebody that done felonies, and I became a Christian, and I still keep my ears to the streets and eyes to the streets and my head on the swivel, and I still hear and I still update myself on new street principles and rules and regulations. That's what the lame should do. They get a book of rules and regulations for the streets. Because that's what it's all about. You get wiped out. Listen, buddy, you could be the hardest boy, but listen, you could be the toughest guy out here. But if you don't got no rules and regulations, you good as dead, buddy. Because you're going to make mistakes. You listen, you could try one of these women out here. Just challenging a woman. You think it's all good? Little you know, she cut through herself. She keep wanting to own her, right? She shoot you herself. That's why I walk through the jungle like that. I don't challenge no female, no man, unless you a lame. Because a lame has to be corrected. That's just what it is. You see the difference? Instead of a challenge, us as real ones, we have to correct these lames. That's real. We do no, buddy. We pay too many dues. You know what the dues is? The first dues of being a street person? Everybody think you crazy. Oh, if you cool street dude, listen. If you a cool street dude, buddy, listen, that I don't believe that. Because in order for you to be certified out here, they gon' think you crazy, buddy. That's what comes with it. If they don't think you crazy to a certain degree, you probably not no street dude. Because, your reaction is going to be a little more rougher than they expect it to be. Your response is going to be a little more 100. That's better to say. But I can tell a good man even talking like this. It don't rub me the wrong way. If somebody talking like this, it don't rub me the wrong way at all. Cause if I listen to you and you talking like this, I'm gonna let you get it in because I hear you checking somebody. I'm like, yeah, I know that's what you gotta do. I'm gonna get out your way and I'm gonna let you check these suckers. That's right. I'm not talking about the rappers. I'm talking about these people on out here in these streets, just challenging people, playing with people, challenging people in this facility, challenging people. And that's how we look at it, bro. That's how we look at it. I lived in Bed-Stuy, buddy. That goes for anybody, and I don't care what tribe you come from. Haitian, Jamaican, African American, what I lived in Bed-Stuy. I don't need you. It is what it is. So you don't certify me, I certified my situation long time ago. And you can't recertify or uncertify. Because you Jamaican, you think you can uncertify me? That's 7 out. You think you can uncertify me because you Haitian? Or whatever else you are? You can't uncertify me, sucker. I don't care what tribe you come from. What that got to do with me? That's what a real one gonna tell you. I mean, think about it. In reality, what a Jamaican got to do with me? in where I've been, and what I've been through. How is he gonna change that? Only for people that's intimidated by Jamaicans. I ain't intimidated by no Jamaican, man. Let's get that understood. I don't care what come with it. I can tell you stories. I can tell you stories. Well, I gave Jamaicans my butt to kiss down in Orlando, Florida. Then they was offended and I didn't care. I didn't care. And I made it through that. I mean, that's me. I'm just saying. They sit up in my face, I gave my butt to kiss. Like, who are you? I'm from North Carolina. I don't care nothing about what color you are. I don't care nothing about you being Jamaican. So what? Oh, it's supposed to mean something extra. It's supposed to mean something extra, don't it? Black people act like it means something extra, don't it? That's 7 out. It means something extra, don't it? Well, not to a real one. It don't mean nothing extra to me. So I done had my little run in with the Jamaican, like, yeah. When I was down in Orlando at the Greyhound bus station, boom. Oh, you remember that? They probably felt I was disrespectful. I didn't care. So what? What you want to do? That's how you get your respect. Elaine wouldn't know that. Sometimes you gotta rub people the wrong way, and then the same one's gonna be talking about, yeah, I love them. I got love for them. But that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? You might, rub people the wrong way at first, but the truth is they gonna hear they self in you, and you gonna relate, and then it's over. Elaine gets scared to say anything. I don't. This is how you make it to these levels, man. You can't be scared to say nothing to people, man. You can't. That's why you on the lower levels when you scared of everybody. You ain't dig in. You ain't dug into life. Like you listen. You got to make an example out of some of these suckers. I checked me a Jewish dude. I'm not anti-Semitic, but a Jewish dude called me a pedophile right here on Utica Avenue because he into politics. Oh, I checked him. That's the first person I ran up on. He had some kids with him too. I didn't care. I said, yo, I ran up on him. Yo, did you say something to me? I had the weapons on me and everything, buddy. I had weapons on me and everything. Little did he know. That's what I'm saying. And you a sucker out here. You know what I'm saying? Talking out of pocket to somebody and they got weapons on them. Listen. This is not for flex. This is not for flex reasons. I had the weapon in the pizza box, bruh. I got the pizza box right in my hand. I got an extra large pizza. He didn't even know I had the weapon in the pizza box. Yo, did you hear what I said? I had the weapon in the pizza box. That's a throw off. You see me with a pizza in my hand, you don't know what to think, right? I got a weapon in the pizza box, bruh. No lie. In the streets, when I came back up the block on Utica, because it was off of a block, two dudes on the corner, two black dudes, yo. But I didn't do it for that reason, though. I didn't do it for, he said something to me. I was minding my business. I promise you I ain't even show eye contact to this person. I'm telling you I ain't do that. Usually I show kind of respect to these rabbi type of Jewish people. He was like one of the rabbi type of dudes. Rabbi type of Jewish dude? Yeah, in the politics. He said something out of pocket, bro. I just lost it, bro. I'm sorry, I lost it. Had the piece in my hand and lost it, man. That's why I see being a dangerous person is like a gun, bro. It is. And the dangerous thing about it is you don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do today to day. I don't know. This is the bad. I'm not saying it's the bad part, but this is what comes with being. And real ones know what I'm talking about. You don't know when you're gonna spaz on someone. You don't know what are you gonna do from day to day. You don't know. I don't know. He said something to me, I almost let it go. But I'm like, nah. So I ran up on him, right? Had the weapons on me. I said, yo, did you say something to me just now? I know he seen my face because he remembered me. He know exactly what I look like. So I know it flashed in his mind, this is the guy. He said, oh, no. And what you think I would do if me and him got in a fight and I got weapons? What you think I'm gonna do? If it escalates, what you think gonna happen? So when I came back up to the block, two dudes, oh, yo. And I just walked off like a real one because I already know what it mean, bro. Like, that's what I'm saying. I ain't one of them special egg type of dudes. You might think because I'm smart, I'm one of these, but man, listen, bro, I see everything. How you think I seen all of that? A special ed dude gonna be walking past people, ain't gonna be paying attention or whatever. I'm paying attention to the streets, everything. This dude, yo, you seen that, yo? But you know what I'm saying? But I ain't do it for that reason. I didn't do it for that reason, bro. You know what I'm saying? I try to mind my business, and I recommend, man, these lames, bro, because people are losing their patience, bro. I mean, I don't know what you might think that about how we feel about life, but we all don't care, including me. And if I don't care, guess what, buddy? When you try me, what you think my reaction gonna be? I don't care about this stuff no more than you do. So how you think I'm gonna respond if you playing with me, not me playing with you? And I don't know if I'll lose it. That's why I tell people, these men and women talking outside my door, I'm a stepper where I could come out there barefoot. I done it. I done came outside barefoot with weapons in New York City with no shoes on, running to see who it is. Listen, bro. Listen. What you think I would do in that case? Do you think I'm playing? Did you think I would be playing? I run outside with no shoes with weapons. Do you think I'm fronting? Who's gonna do that? Who's gonna come outside barefoot and fronting, running after somebody? No one, buddy. You just used to wrestlers, man. All these, I don't know. You're not up to date. It's a jungle out here, bro. Ain't nobody playing no games. That was in my last apartment. And you know what? I still kept it civil because that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check these lanes and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to keep it civil. I'm going to put these lanes in check and keep everything civil. Like a papa's supposed to. I'm not going to let lanes ride around and walk around like they the king of the jungle, and we know that ain't true. This is what the king of the jungle sound like. And nobody would expect nothing more of me, nothing less of me, with my reputation. Listen, bro, listen, I don't do it for reputation, but you wouldn't expect nothing less of me with my reputation. It's a big difference. And like I said, if nobody will say nothing to me, you won't hear a peep out of me because I'm in a different zone, man. I'm a grown man. Like, I'm all about enjoying my life. That's what a real one gonna do. A real one ain't out here trying to be confused and get their blood pressure up every day. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to get my blood pressure up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just, man, listen, a real one got control over their life. And what you gonna do if you got control over your life? You gonna make a good day, you know what I mean? You gonna make it good, you gonna make it cool, you know what I'm saying? You gonna do this, you gonna do that, woo. You gonna make it, eat good, you know what I'm saying? Treat yourself, whatever. That's what I'm saying. I've been, you could tell by my language, whatever, that's New York. Whatever, you hear somebody say whatever. Okay, they live in New York. They live in Brooklyn. I can hear all of that and know, man. Yeah. That's New York too. Yeah. That's New York. I can show you more of my New York side, but it's some things I gotta work through, man, with these people up here, man, because how I feel is you should have knew better. I had too much reputation up here for you to even think. You had already seen me before the stuff popped off like this. See, that's what I expect you to understand as New Yorkers. Yeah, you already seen me, bro. You already seen me in Brooklyn. You already seen me in Harlem. You seen me in Staten Island. I was in Staten Island, Shaolin, where Wu-Tang from. I was in Shaolin. That's too much credibility. That's too much. Yo, he was in Shaolin catching the ferries? Yeah. Everybody living in Staten Island know about the ferries, catching the ferry. Then you go walk up, when you come to the ferry station, you go up the little ramp, and the bus station is right there. Come on, man. I stayed in Shaolin. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Listen, that's why even some New Yorkers might hate it. You might be jealous yourself. Because I lived in Harlem, I lived in Brooklyn, I lived in East New York, I lived in Staten Island. Most New Yorkers probably might not even leave their borough their whole life. You may do 2 if you're lucky. If you're, moving around, But some people just stick to their borough their whole life. And some people might do a second borough to switch up, see what's different. I've lived in Staten Island, Brooklyn, Harlem, Queens. That's 4 boroughs, bro. And I stayed with somebody from the Bronx. That's all covered. That's how it's all covered. Now imagine somebody acting like I'm new to this. That's all I'm saying, man. If you mad, listen, bro, go check with your own people. Go check with your own people, because see, I'm one of them clean dudes that, hey, listen, I'm going to tell you, hey, you at the wrong source, buddy. You at the wrong source. That's what it is. It is that. And listen, rather than clash with you, I'd rather you come to terms with the truth that you got played. Instead of, because doing something to you ain't gonna prove that point. Doing something to these people out here in this building ain't gonna prove this point that they got played. I'd rather prove this point that they got played. You feel me? Yeah. I'd rather prove the point that whatever you was told. That's another reason I go through these politics. You ain't out here for that reason. You're out here because my brother was mad because his wife was attracted to me. That's why you out here. So you understand that, right? So you don't need to think nothing else. You're out here because my brother, his wife was attracted to me. He joined the Freemasons. He joined these other people to put them out on me. You see what happened, right? Okay. I just want you to realize that. Okay, so you're not, listen, this is the punchline. You're not going to change that narrative in your lifetime. Okay? In your lifetime. No matter how you manipulate, you're not going to change the real reason you're out here. You know the real reason you're out here? Because of a sucker. My brother, a sucker, that was mad because his wife was attracted to me. That's why you're out here. Now, that spells trouble to a sucker. Now, remind you, these people are suckers already. We already see it. Now, can you imagine the sucker realizing, we're out here for a woman. We're out here for a girl, a piece of butt, a piece of vagina. It's the most taboo in black culture. Cause I ain't causing no problems for no female. If she attracted to you, then you didn't listen. That tells me everything I need to know. I mean, pretty much. She wasn't for me. That's what it tells me. And I want someone for me. I listen, if she don't pass the test of life and she fall into the hands of other people, she looking up other penis and she thinking about other penis, hey, listen, that tells me everything I need to know. That's what real kings do. Can you imagine a king going after another man for a woman that wanted somebody else? That's the scenario. Now, if you raped her, okay, I might destroy you. I probably would destroy you. But you didn't rape her. You didn't do that. In fact, she was attracted to you. And I'm gonna come out here and do something. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen, buddy. Not gonna happen. I ain't doing nothing for no woman that's attracted to another man. That's the most forbidden thing a black man could do. You can't get no respect from nobody. And that's why this narrative has been hidden for so long. When you realize my brother came out here for a woman, he can play all those roles like he Tupac or whatever else he think he is. Tupac wouldn't have came out here for no woman, buddy. That's how we know you ain't Pac. Because first of all, Pac, his woman would have been in check. What he say on I Get Around? You know, basically I'm paraphrasing. Salute to all the dudes who keep their women in check. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yeah. You know, there's a little wording, different words, you know what I'm saying? Plus it's 90 version wording, but salute to a woman that salute to a man that keep their women in check. If you got your woman in check, buddy, first thing you're gonna do is teach your woman how to conduct herself in public. That's right. That's right, buddy. That's how you know I'm a grown man. And that's not control, cause women are too nice. Women gonna be nice to everybody. But she gotta understand that all these dudes out here ain't got the right motives. You know what I'm saying? They'll speak to you, might do something for you, but it's different motives. So you gotta get your woman game, especially if she ain't from the streets. Especially these suburban black women, you know what type I'm talking about. That ain't from the streets. Them the main ones gonna cheat on you right there. Are they the main ones gonna disappoint you? Because they don't got no street wisdom. They go out here and then somebody might talk to them, you know what I'm saying? And you supposed to brush that off. You don't supposed to listen. Well, what are we talking about? If you see a woman in public and she kind of mean, that's the one you talk to right there. Because she's already carrying herself the right way. She kind of mean? Okay, yeah, that's it right there. You see how she didn't give you no eye contact? She walked right past you? Yeah, that's who you talk to. Now, hold up. That's game right there, buddy. That's game. That's game. That's game. That's game, buddy. The one in the grocery store that kind of looked at you, but she wasn't really paying attention. But then she walked past you almost like a dude. Like a street dude. She kind of held her head and walked past you. That's who you want to talk to right there, buddy. Not the one smiling all in your face and smiling all. Nah. Cause she gonna be doing that to everybody. If that's how you met her, I'm gonna talk to the one that's minding her business, taking care of her business. And I'm gonna scope how she interact with everybody. And if she just kind of just got a wall up where she just in there getting her food, and she ain't really. And these females is what you gotta watch out for too, cause these days a new lane is these lesbians trying to holler at, oh, you can't sleep on the women. That's the past. You know, it's these females trying to holler at your female too. Oh yeah. So if I see her put a wall up where she just in there for business like I am, boom, that's it for me. That's all I need to see. But if you just like showing extra eye contact, all this extra talking, man, listen, especially here in New York, man, that's taking its weakness, man. I mean, or way in. You know what I'm saying? You can't talk to people like that, man. In a more innocent place and time you could, but these days, nah, people, that's misinterpreted. And the reason why, even though your heart might be in the right place, it's not normal. So because it's not normal and people not used to it, they're gonna misinterpret that. Make sense? If everybody don't talk to people, right? But you do, how that's gonna be interpreted? Nobody don't talk to nobody. But then you go start talking to everybody. How is that gonna be interpreted when nobody else don't do that? Especially for men. If men know women don't talk to no other man if she in a relationship, how is it gonna be interpreted when you do that? Oh, she must be single. That part. That's what I would be thinking. If I ask you something like, okay, do you know where this building is at? Or do you know this address? Okay, that's normal. That's human. You let your wife be human. You gotta let your woman be human. But if she giving you like all this extra conversation, all that, man, I'm gonna think she's single. That's what I'm gonna think. Because it's not normal for a married woman. That's why you got to get your woman game. You know what I'm saying? Listen, it ain't control. You doing the same thing. Are you out here talking to all these females? And she ain't gonna like it either if you was. You all in these women face, yeah, hey, how you doing? she gonna ask you, was that conversation necessary? I guarantee you she gonna say that. Well, did you have to say all of that? What was all of that about? And what you gonna do? You gonna play it like, that was normal. That what you talking about? You tripping? Nah. You tripping. That was just normal. That was just me, being me, talking to her a little. Nah. You gotta stick to the codes. You gotta stick to these married codes, these relationship codes, man. Cause some men do that, and I think they pigs for doing it. You know what I'm saying? You make your woman stick to a relationship code, but you be flirting with all these women in her face. That's awful. That's awful, man. Look, a lot of women go through that. She can't talk to nobody, but this dude is like an alpha male jock, and he be talking to all these females in her face, and that's his personality. Well, it's really, I mean, is it his personality? But he talking to all these people, yeah, but she's right there. Some women ain't having that. Ain't no way in the world, buddy. You ain't finna sit up and hold no full conversation in my face like I'm an idiot. Talking to another woman in my face. That's how these women gonna say, no, that was unnecessary talking. She gonna blow the whistle like a referee. Unnecessary talking. Not unnecessary roughness, unnecessary talking. Hey, for real though. That's how it starts. Think about it. Right or wrong. That's how it starts. The unnecessary talking, right? That unnecessary talking. That's real. That's real. All that unnecessary talking, nah. I ain't feeling it. I ain't feeling it. But see, for these other people from that don't come from my culture, see, that's how I was raised. That's how I was groomed. If you don't come from that culture, you're gonna think people like me are possessive or jealous. Nah, it's not that. I know how stuff starts. I know how it starts. You know how it starts? Unnecessary talking. That's how it starts. Now, if you got your colleagues or co-workers, your counterparts at your job, even then, you gotta keep stuff professional, but you do share kind of a human experience with them, being that you work with them, and I can understand having a joke with them every once and things like that, and being human with them. But then that's like a family in itself. You see, that's a different dynamic. But even then, it has to be kept in the brother and sister context. You feel me? Yeah. Like you would treat your brother, like you would treat your sister. That's right. At the job. That's right. And you're going to get respect as a woman. See, if women learn to carry themselves like this, you're going to get respect from head honchos. Because we going to say, this woman is not like a normal woman. You know what I'm saying? She gets her respect not because of how she looks. She gets her respect because of her rules and principles. And she's, you can't lust after her and flirt with her, and you know what I mean? You gotta hold your head like the streets. You gotta respect this person. See, if listen, your life will be more quality as a woman if you learn this, because you still, as a woman, gonna be able to manipulate. It's just what it is, which means you're gonna be able to use your beauty to an advantage. But if you went out to get your respect and just act like a good person, that you can't lust after me, you can't be looking all between my legs and all of that, you gotta look at me as a human being. And you make sure people understand that with the beauty, you're gonna be more persuasive. You can get anything you want. Once you go to that next level, where you ain't using your body, but you using your whole, you become a head honcho yourself, a female, man, you can get anything you want, man. Cause people just gonna be, because it don't come easy. So you gonna stick out everywhere. Everybody gonna be like, wow, man, yo, that's a different kind of woman right there. Like you don't see that every day. Rules and regulations, all that good stuff. You gotta learn rules and regulations, man. Like that's what these lames slipping. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, you know, I'm not the biggest man in the world. I'm not 6'7". I'm not 7'2". But I got rules and regulations. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm not weak either, but am I the strongest and biggest man in the whole wide world? No, I'm not. But I got rules and regulations, and that's gonna be respected more than my physical strength. It's gonna get me a lot further than my physical strength. And if these lames understood that and they start reading the precepts of rules and regulations, you wouldn't be in the situation you in. You would be in a better situation. See, a lame think he can just come out here and be violent. Like a white boy. He gonna think he can just be violent. I just come out here and be violent and tough and ghetto. Even that too. A lot of black people make that mistake. I'll just be ratchet and ghetto. Nope. Ain't gonna work here. Because I'm gonna look for rules and regulations in what you do. When I see nothing, you're lame. That's it. That's all. Because this is how we get past ourselves, past dangerous people that you're scared of. How do you think we survive? Being around killers. Just being a nice guy, that's not enough. You might get taken advantage of. You might be seen as dinner yourself. You're around a killer, you're just a nice guy, you might get robbed. Well, he was just a nice guy, you know. I hate to do it to him, but you know. How you think we get by with rules and regulations, man? We gonna hold our head too. You know what I'm saying? Like I had a person that was on death row show me respect. That's why I talk like this. This dude obviously caught 2, 3, 4, 5 bodies. You know what I'm saying? The state was gonna kill this man. What that tells you? That it wasn't one body. That's what it tells you. He caught probably 3 or 4 or 5, 6 bodies, something like that. Between 4 and 6 bodies. They wanted to give him the chair, buddy. I was around people like that, smoking weed, drinking with him and everything, falling out with him and everything. So imagine me taking something from somebody that I know ain't on that level, because that's a different level of criminal, if you don't know. Felons is one thing. A felon is one thing. A death row inmate is a whole different animal, buddy. And we know that, don't we? Because some of these fellas, you know, you got charges for robbing people and stuff like that. You're not a death row inmate, buddy. The state didn't want to kill you. That's a whole different vibration, is my point. That's a whole different vibration. Somebody that was on death row. Yeah, think about what I'm saying. Now imagine me being considered a lame. Imagine me. And I done been around somebody on death row, bro. That's all I'm saying. That's why you gotta listen to people, man. And stop listening to other people. See, I done been around, so when you bring fellas around me, I mean, I'm them jailbird type of fellas, listen, buddy, I'm above that too. I done got respect from dudes above you, man. I don't care how much time you done did in prison. I done been around somebody on death row. Now you even see what I mean. That's all I'm saying. Now you take me way more serious. That's why I'm 100. That's why I'm on my business. That's why, yo, I'm not playing any games with these Americans, bro. 100, bro. 100. I'm not playing any games with these Americans, bro. That's what I'm saying. And I'm willing to die for my position. It's not going to change. See, once you go through enough, it's not because you're depressed. I'm willing to die in this position. It's just what it is. And, you know, these other people, they haven't been, this situation isn't serious enough for them to die. That's why they play around. You know why you play around with it? Because you ain't willing to die for it because it don't mean that much to you. You ain't willing to turn up. You ain't willing to turn up for it. That's what I'm saying. It's not that they not real, but I know real people. And if it ain't enough for you to turn up for it, imagine you turning up for it. And then you see who I really am on top of that. Look at all that together. You see who I really am. You really don't want to turn up on nobody anyway. You're not that concerned. It ain't you anyway. It's not personal for you anyway. I mean, where you gonna get the turn up from? Where the turn up gonna come from? It's just not gonna work. That's what I'm saying. So see, me and you two on two different energies, man. Like, I'm willing to die for this situation. You know what I'm saying? Because people play with my livelihood. They play with my life and my likeness. You know what I'm saying? Out here in the public and then on, you know, everywhere. Social media in America, they play with my likeness. You know what I'm saying? It's unforgivable, bro. It's unforgivable, and we all know that. And so it's that we you know, that goes without saying in this situation. And so, you know, you just thought you had a lane, you know, but I always been 100. I always been 100, okay? No matter what my sexuality was. And if I don't say that, you'll think, because of what you heard about my sexuality, that that's a way for you to find weakness in me as a person. But then I'm gonna show you that I was around killers, even when my sexuality was what it was, right? I was still with other killers. I can't make this up. So maybe when if you were gay before, or if you're gay, and you know, and you thought me and you was in the same lane, but you ain't been around no killers. Well, when I was like doing the activity that you do, I was around killers at the same time. Do you hear me? So I still had to hold my head and keep street principles, even while practicing other sexuality. Do you understand? So I didn't get off in this disco ball Donna Summers world. I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I want some hot stuff, baby, tonight. I want some hot stuff, baby, this evening. I didn't go up like I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Everybody from that gay world wish. I'm gonna tell you what they wish. You know what they wish? They wish they could find somebody to introduce them to this happy, dancy world in America. But you know what? It never happens. You know what winds up happening? You get in a toxic relationship with another gay person. That's what happens. And you never find that person that makes you dance and listen to Donna Summer and Diana Ross. You don't find that person. You don't. But that's what you thought was gonna happen, didn't you? We all thought that. And did you ever find this nice person to say, spread your wings and fly, and I want you to be your best self, and me and you gonna be together and we're gonna love, and it never happens. That's a misperception in that community. That everybody's dancing around under disco balls listening to Donna Summers. And that doesn't happen. You know what happens? You find a lot of toxic men in that community, and that's the facts. So I'm not a new jack to that either. Okay? You find a lot of people Okay? And, you know, they're all toxic. They're all, you know, looking for, they have their own agenda. And they're just not healthy people. Many of them. 60% of them are not healthy. 40% of them, they're taken. They're taken by somebody else, buddy. They're off the market. Okay? The other more than half of, which is 60%, they're toxic, man. Let's just go, I'll be safe and say 45. Let's say 45%. They're toxic, man. They're toxic. And that's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? So, I never was, my point is, I was never around these Donna Summer dancing around type of gay people. It never happened. So, you know what I was around? Gay guys that call bodies. That part. Gay guys that would kill people. And that's my story. Now for you, even though toxic, you never was around gay people that call bodies. Nope. And see, that's why now you can understand why I stayed 100 all the way through. Because even when I was around them type of people, I was around a killer. So then you still gonna have the street mentality. Now you see what I mean? Now that's just how my story worked out. That's who was attracted to me because of how I carry myself. Okay, that's that part. And you know, you wouldn't attract those type of people. See the old school black people say, a bird of a feather flock together. A bird of a feather flock together. People that got the heart to kill people. And this is, I'm not glorifying it, right? They would tell you that a lot of their friends were killers. You know why? Because it was the same type of vibe. That's what it was. It's hard to explain. But how many times you done had killers, people that certified, that put people in the graveyard, become your friends and your comrades? I'm more than one. More than one for me. I done been around more than one killer, buddy. And can I tell you why they gravitated towards me? Exactly. My only guess is because my mentality, my vibration is willing to protect my life in the same manner that they are. And somehow that vibration connects, you know, bird of a feather flock together. But you'll find that people like that, man, are more 100. Which means they ain't even gonna get in a lot of trouble. I ain't been locked up in 3 years. And I'm proud to say that. I haven't been arrested in 3 years. Going on 4 years. I'm glad to say that. But I almost got arrested. In 2024, I ran from the police here in New York. That's how I got away. Well, if I know I got weapons on me, I'm not going to jail, buddy. Now, if I can help it, and I could help it, I did help it. I did help it. I did help it. I did help it. Yeah, I ran from the police. I had some weapons on me, threw them on across the street, the opposite side of the street. So as soon as the police see me coming up the same block, he ain't gonna think to look on the other side of the street. I'm not gonna be out here slipping, man. I know. But with ICE, it gets a little tricky because I am part Latino, right? I'm part Peruvian, right? So I'm part Peruvian, right? My family, my bloodline is from Peru too. So and Mesoamerican, Andine and Mesoamerican, right? That's my South American Latino bloodline. So so they can look at, because I got that look, because I am part Latino. They could see that in me. And Ice, I have to worry about Ice too. And that's food for thought. If you look Latino, if you got any Latino in you, or if you even look Latino, you know what I mean? Because yeah, you can have that look. You can have that look, man. But I am part Latino. And I can prove that with my DNA. I can go take the blood and show you I'm part Latino. And that's why I am the way I am. I'm cutthroat. But I'm cutthroat, but I'm refined. I'm more refined, and that's what throw people off. I'm not ratchet, you know what I'm saying? But I am very cutthroat. But I gave my life to God, and you know what I'm saying? But it's more believable. I hate to say it, man, because a lot of Latinos, man, they are very cutthroat. You know what I'm saying? And they might look like a pretty boy, but see, in their culture, that's no sign if this person will kill you or not. Latinos pretty in the face. Pretty boy in the face, right? So all these Latinos out here, you can't size him up. He got long hair. You know what I mean? The dude got a pretty look. He cool, laid back with it too. He cool and laid back with it. Got a pretty boy face, but he cutthroat if you try him, right? Right. It's only in black culture where if you got that pretty boy look, it's the truth, bro. Come on, keep it 100. If you got that pretty boy look, for them, that dude, he a pretty boy. Now go to Latino culture. And ain't nothing. And that's no disrespect. They look good. They handsome in the face, right? Might have long hair, everything. Even arch their eyebrows. Eyebrows arched, everything. Oh, I know, man. Come on. Arch their eyebrows, long hair, everything. 100, bro. Cutthroat. It's only in black culture, man, where they make mistakes like that, man. They size dudes up, man. And see, I am part Latino. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even got to show you an example as for me being a pretty boy only, but I am part Latino. That's why you misread me. You seen me the wrong way and you made mistakes. And that's all, man. That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, it's just, but for me, I don't try people I don't know. That's me being from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? Me being from North Carolina, black, Latino from North Carolina, I'm not going to try nobody I don't know. If I don't know you, why try? Why? It's a lost cause, man. I know I'm going to end up in jail. Why? Why try? Why do it? I guess people that don't go to jail for, like, that's not 100, it's a complete stranger out the street, man. I'm probably going to jail. The second dude in Utica, up here on Utica, that was the first dude, the rabbi looking dude, the Jewish dude. That's the first time I checked a Jewish dude. Now, that's a first for me. That's a first. I ain't never checked no Jewish dude in my life. But I know what I know, and I heard him. I know I heard him. I know I heard what I heard, man. You know what I'm saying? I listen, bro. Listen. My street wisdom is 100, bro. I wouldn't say that if I didn't know if I didn't think it was true. If I didn't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first Jewish dude I checked, but am I anti-Semitic? Nah, he said something to me. Being in them goofy politics, man, and he didn't even know I had the weapons in the pizza box, man. If he would have said something slick, I could have put the pizza box down and got the weapon out the pizza box. He wouldn't have been expecting that. and he wouldn't have been able to do anything. See, the moral of the story, man, you never know who you try, bro. You don't know. That I don't make those mistakes. You can't say I do the same thing. I don't try people for no reason or just playing around somebody. Nah, that ain't my style, bro. I don't get nothing out of that. I just go through checking people, man, to make sure my situation is good, to make sure I'm treated right. That's really the truth, man. We gonna make sure we treat it right. Which means I get my respect off a man, woman, and child. I done checked children. I done stepped on children. Yeah. They be using these children out here. San Francisco, I was out in San Francisco drinking. I know what I heard once again. I know what I heard. You know what I'm saying? I read up on the 2 or 3 children. Like teenager age. Like, yo, did you say something to me? Black teenagers. Oh, they act like they didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, okay, you ain't say that, okay. That's real, bro. Man, you gotta be like that, man. I done check children. I don't care, bro. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. Okay? The second person I checked, and since I've been over here in Utica, man, is these people at the $1 store, these little stores up here going towards Eastern Parkway. The whole little strip up there. When you bust this left out here. From Rutschfield, or whatever this is called, Rutschfield, I think it's called. Rutschfield Avenue, and you hit the left on Utica, going towards Utica. So you make that left, and it's all this whole strip out there. So I'm in the store, and I'm talking about these suckers out here, gang stalking, man. They're gonna wind up dying playing around here. So I'm speaking out loud like a real one, man, going through this gang stalker. So I'm in the store saying that because I already know what's going on, and I'm speaking so they can hear it. That's the point. It ain't like they left. I'm speaking so they can hear it, right? Right. So some dude looked like he maybe been in his early 30s, something like that, maybe mid 30s at best. He like, well, man, you know, this here in Brooklyn, on Utica. In one of them random stores up there. So I'm like, he talking like, yeah, man, I ain't gonna die. I was like, I said, hey, man, listen. I said it this loud too, so he could hear it. I addressed him right there in the store. I said, it applies to who it applies to. It applies, yeah. He's saying it ain't him. Well, hey, it whoever it is, whoever it applies to. Which means if it's you, then it's you too. Whoever it applies to. See, only somebody that's real know how to be quick at the mouth like that. Quick on their toes with their words like that. We used to it. We used to the rules and regulations. Which means I ain't gonna say a lot of extra stuff. I ain't gonna say, oh well, who you talking to? You want some? I ain't not. I'm gonna say the right sound bite to put you in check. Cause I'm used to it. I'm gonna get right to the point. Whoever it applies to, that's who it applies to. These people gonna suffer. They gonna die. It ain't no way around it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe that's the Latino in me. You're not getting out of this. You're not getting out. Some black people, no disrespect, you're used to bowing down. You're used to letting stuff go. You're used to forgiving people. You're used to letting things turn in the other cheek. Me, black and Latino, sorry. I'm sorry, buddy. I seen way too much for them people to get away with what they doing. It's over for them. There ain't no need to even talk to me. If you got my money, okay, that's a different situation. You ain't got my money, man, ain't nothing to talk about. If you think I'm a scrub or something because I ain't got a lot of money right now, presently, and you don't hear these principles, you don't hear this 100, you don't see the spirituality going on out here, you don't see God backing me, and I know you see that. because you claim to be spiritual and so you paying attention. Okay, so then you already know it's 100, man, based on the spiritual world, based on spirituality. Okay, so that's my bag, buddy. You see the changes out here, so you stuck on retarded? Okay, so you see the changes, don't you? Okay, so that's my money. Because, listen, we go one step further, and listen, buddy, listen, it's all over. It's the point of no return. We go one step further, and it's over. That means one more noticeable, distinct change in all things, including the people. It's all over, bro. They ain't gonna be able to go back to what we esteem as normal. They ain't gonna be able to go back to what we think is normal as far as mentality in the world and everything. That's why God been holding off this whole time. God been holding off. You know what I'm saying? From doing this to these people. And you can't say God is not love because he allowed me to go suffer. I'm not saying he's not with me. He's right here with me. He's my friend. But he loves humanity too. So he allowed me to suffer before he did this to these people. And that's what so he let even his servants suffer before he really let the hammer down on these people. Yeah, that's the truth. I had to go through a lot before people seen the truth and see this for what it is. You know how long this is the truth. You know how long I had to go through all this stuff. And God did not destroy you. That's what you're taking for granted. While you hate God, God could have been destroyed you. As soon as he seen your heart turn against me, me being his servant, he could have wiped you out. I go back. I date back to about 2014, around there, about between 2014 and 16, which is about 10 years ago. You could have been wiped out, buddy. At the latest, 2016, which is 10 years ago. You could have been wiped out about 10 years ago, buddy. I had to go through another 10 years. You can't tell me God don't love the world. Because if he didn't love you, he could have wiped you out as soon as you turned your heart against me. As soon as you did it, he could have, wiping them out. He didn't do that. He didn't do it. So, man, I mean, only God's people can articulate this whole situation properly, man. And see, that's another thing. Everybody listen to these lames, these psychics and witchcraft people, man. They was wrong the whole time. They've been wrong the whole time. I'm tired of hearing them. I'm tired of them talking. Shut up. Talk too much. Let the master speak. I mean, that's the truth. Because they can't articulate what I'm talking about here. Where God allowed, love the world, love y'all so much, he let his servant go through this. I went through this for 10 years. And some people like Job would have turned their back. I mean, not like Job. But through the test that Job went through, where his wife say, curse God and die. His own wife say, you should just curse God and die. Curse God. She told him to curse God, man. Look at that. She said, you should just curse God and die, man. And Job didn't even do anything, man. Job was innocent. You know what I'm saying? So, and so Job could have thought, how could God put me through this and I'm innocent? Just to prove something to Satan. Just to prove he could, to play this game, this chess game with Satan. Because Satan kept coming back to him. Oh, if you do this. Some people could have said, well, why God would even entertain all that Satan was talking about with doing this and doing this, doing this and doing this. But the bottom line is he did it. And God proved, Because it needed to come a time where God could prove his servants. You see the context? Proving his servants. See, that's where you gotta be in it for real. Well, you in it for the long haul with God, man. You in it forever. Because if you ain't gonna be willing to prove nothing for God's kingdom. You're gonna fold. You know what I'm saying? So I went through this for 10 years, bro. You know what I'm saying? And to being the personality I am, I could have easily caught a body. Easy. I could have easily caught a body. It was just so, and the whole American community was against me and everything, man. And I know. You know what I'm saying? But if, like I said, if I wasn't 100, if I wasn't for God's kingdom, if I wasn't living for God, I would have lashed out. I would have lashed out and hurt somebody. And a punk would have did it randomly. Not even just somebody that's just trying, a punk. A weak person, a punk would have just, because of all he was going through, just go out there and just randomly hurt somebody. They ain't have nothing to do with it. I could have did that. Not even waiting for somebody to try me, People take my control for that's what. See how I carry myself. People done took a lot of stuff for granted, bro. Like as if I'm not capable of certain things because of my self-control. I'm very capable of harming you. I'm very capable. But because I have been through the jail system, the court system, the legal system, I know how easy it is to do a crime and throw your life away. I know how easy it is to do one crime and it follow you for the rest of your life. That one single crime. And so I done been through the prison. I done been through the league. It's two types of dudes. People that's done been in prison and people done been through the system. I've been through the system. And it's the same context. It's part of it is the same context. Because you still gonna deal with street dudes out here in the streets. Like I told you, I've been around somebody on death row, so I done been around people that's been in what you call prison. Okay, keep in mind, I done been around killers too. Keep all that in mind. But I've been through the system where I know what it's like to go through probation. Have a probation officer, you gotta go see him and all of that. You gotta pay that money to the probation officer and all of that. You gotta do community service and all of that. You gotta comply with whatever they tell you to do. You know what I mean? I done been through it. I can see if okay, you ain't never been on probation. Okay, that's what I want to hear. Oh, you done been on probation, parole? Okay. You done something. You was on probation a couple times? Yeah, I had 2 probation officers. Okay, so then stop acting like I'm wet behind the ears. Stop acting like I'm green out here, bro. Like I'm fresh, like I'm a fresh cotton candy type of dude. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like I'm soapy fresh. Like I'm cotton candy. You know what I mean, man? I'm a grown man over here, bro. Like I said, some people go through prison, some people go through the system. You still get a taste of the bottom line is you get a taste of how easy it is to do a crime and how hard it is to get it off your record. I got my record expunged. So that's why you don't find no charges, because I paid the money. I paid the money to get my record expunged. And I got my record expunged, but I think I struggled with employment the whole time because I didn't know through my marriage. That charge was on me through my whole marriage, most of my marriage. And I didn't know it. I thought old school was the charge is gonna come off naturally with time. I think they said like 7 years in North Carolina. It was this folklore that after 7 years, you know, the charge just fall off. Well, that didn't happen. That did not happen. I had to go get that charge expunged. Okay, so I'm one of them dudes. I can tell you, yeah, I got my charge. I got a charge expunged off of my record. But maybe for misdemeanors, maybe if it's a misdemeanor, maybe it goes after 7 years. Maybe that's what it was. But what I did was a felony, and they reduced it down to a misdemeanor, but it was still felony in nature. That's why I probably didn't fall off. It's like, felonies are just, to me, are charges that it take more juice to do. It take more heart to do these type of things. Misdemeanors is petty. It don't take no heart to do it. That's why they give you bigger charges, because once they see you got heart to do certain crimes, you're a criminal. You're a thug. You got heart to do certain crimes. You know what it is to be in crime time, what I call crime time. When you do a crime and you feel that feeling when you know you're doing a crime. Yeah. Like, some people never did a felony a day in their life where it took heart to do with the certain crimes. You know what I'm saying? And am I number one felon, or people take things to the extreme? That's what I'm saying. That's a sucker to me. For me, if I was listening to somebody like me, I would listen from an ear of an everyday person that been through some quite normal things. It's a million felons, man. It's a million, more than a million. So I'll just be listening to just hear the normal things I would usually hear out of somebody that got the heart to do certain things. You know, that's all I would be listening to. I ain't gonna compare it to say, oh well, you know, sucker gonna compare it to say, well, did he do this? Did he do that? Did he do this? You know what I mean? That's what's corny right there. I'm gonna just listen to what the person is saying, and okay. You did felony nature crimes. That mean you had to have juice to be to do those crimes. So then I'm not gonna doubt you if you got a heart, if you had heart to do crimes. That's why we get watched after that, because people know you got the heart to do some stuff to people. That's why I make it clear. I make it clear, bro. Beware of the dog, man. Beware of the dog. Beware of the dog, bro. Because I had heart to do crimes when I was a teenager. I been had heart to do crimes. But I know how hard it is to get one charge off. I done had probation. I done been through probation. The Prophet went through all of that. I went through it all, man. I went through probation 2 times. And so all I'm trying to get people to see, man, is you know, the truth. You know what I'm saying? Not see me for who I am. Not all this lame, corny little cornball stuff you heard. You know what I'm saying? Out here with your corny kids doing corny stuff. That's right. Gang stalking with your kids out here with this corny stuff. Yeah. I'm somebody that's done, you know, I got my record expunged, you know what I'm saying? And I got heart to hurt you. I got heart to hurt you if I have to. That's what you need to be aware of. Okay? So like I said, I need to go down that rabbit trail for a minute. But back to Fat Joe. So like I said, Fat Joe was talking about on the Breakfast Club interview that came out 7 years ago, as of right now, where he got the black shirt on with the cross. That's how you gonna know. a full black shirt with a cross. He like about like I said, about a quarter, past a quarter, a little more than a quarter through the video. Well, only a quarter, more than a little quarter, a little more than a quarter left of the video. He says, yeah, you know, you can't do all these crimes out here and all this stuff and then get born again. Say I'm a born again Christian. You can't, he say families ain't trying to hear that and all of that. It don't matter if families trying to hear it. I say that for anything, the stuff I've done in my life. I don't care if you're trying to hear it or not. I don't care if you're trying to hear it or not. Once I received Jesus, he going to war with you for me. And it don't matter what you talk about because he has forgiven me for anything that I've done. So I don't care how you feel. Now, wisdom is you don't go out there and put your life in that situation. You know what I'm saying? That's the wisdom. But God can get you out of it. If you give your life to God, you telling me God can get, the way he said it is that, and sitting there with a cross on, what I'm saying. Well, if I give him, you can't give your life, you can't do all this stuff in the streets and robbing people and all this stuff, and then say I'm a born again Christian. Why you can't? Why you can't? You can do that. And that's the first thing that rubbed me wrong about Fat Joe right there in my life. And I never forgot that. And I found the video. See, I get receipts, bro. I don't say nothing that you can't go find. Especially if it's a video or one of these famous people. Listen, you can go find it. Breakfast Club, as in that Breakfast Club, hip hop culture Breakfast Club thing. You can go find an interview Fat Joe about 7 years ago. That's how you'll know. And he got the black shirt with the cross on. And that's what he was saying. Talking about, if you get saved, if you did all this stuff, you can't be born again. Why you can't? I don't care nothing. The streets is not above God, bro. That's why this has to be understood. The streets is not no above God, bro. Them people gonna get body playing with God's people. I ain't talking about Fat Joe. I'm talking about the street. Anybody out there, bro, on everything I love, bro. I want to die for my position. And that's what you need to know. I don't care about you. If you want to dig up dirt on people, and that's why I go perfect with what Fat Joe said. You can't do all this stuff and be born again. Like, bro, listen, I could do whatever and be born again. I could do whatever and be born again. How about that? I could do whatever and be born again and let somebody try me. That's why you're in trouble now. Because it's that mentality where, oh, well, we don't care if you're born again. We don't care if you're a Christian. We know what you did. Okay. Okay, buddy. You look at your community. That's what happens when you play with somebody that has changed their life. And you think you're going to bring, like Pet Cemetery, you think you're going to dig up stuff that they done. You're going to bury it and bring it back to life. Like Pet Cemetery. Okay, it didn't work, did it? Pet Cemetery didn't work this time, did it? Yeah, that's a 7 out. Pet Cemetery didn't work. You tried to bury an animal and then it didn't come back to life, did it? Pet Cemetery didn't work. Put a little funk on it. Pet Cemetery didn't work, did it? Pet Cemetery didn't work, did it? Pet Cemetery didn't work. That's all I'm saying, man. I don't like, that's a goofy perspective, man. It is. You see somebody, a Christian, and you still talking about something what he did 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago? Man, that's what I'm saying. Think about that. That's goofy, and I don't care what it is. I don't care. If the person became a Christian, buddy, I'm sorry. But that was the first red flag that I got from Fat Joe. The second red flag was when he did an interview, and you can go find that, where he's talking about African Bambaataa, and that's gonna be pretty easy to find because he ain't got a million interviews on African Bambaataa. And I don't know what part of the video this was at particularly because I didn't go back and look. And once I found that one video about him talking about born again Christians, that's the wrong thing to say out your mouth. What can happen to a born again Christian? That's what he said. And I went back and found it, man. That's why man, listen, man. I don't know about other people, man, but I'm in my right mind. I know that. Because I anything I'm talking about, you can go find it, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. You know, but look at these enemies, man. Like, you know, look at these suckers out here with half receipts, leaving off the cheese and the bread. Leaving off cheese and bread off the receipts. Got cookies and chips on the receipt. But you talk about a whole bunch of other stuff. The cheese, the bread, the ham, everything, pasta. We don't see none of that on the receipt. All we see is cookies and Kool-Aid. Chips. No, that's half receipts, buddy. We need to see all the details. What's the details to what you heard about me? You got the details? You ain't got the details, do you? That's what we talk about, buddy. I got details. I talk about details. You talk about subject matter, and you're too retarded to know the difference. I talk about details of subject matter. I say what it was, the subject matter, and I go into the details. If you can't do the same, you don't have no receipts. A receipt is not, oh, he did this. No, the receipt is, he did this, and here's the details. This is what we said he done. Now here's the details to what we said he done. Because when you go to the courthouse, you can't accuse nobody only and say, well, this is what he done. The courthouse breaks down the details. The courthouse breaks down the details. That's what it's all about. Okay, you got this accusation. That ain't good enough. We ain't going to arrest this person for just because you said he did something. We going to break down the details. And if you don't have those details, I'm sorry, buddy. You don't have a case here. It's a million people like you, and it's going to be a million people after you like you. You come in here with no details, it's over. Sad, sad world, but I don't know what to tell you. We feel like if it was really authentic, you would have details. And I got details of whatever I'm talking about. It's not hard. It's all of a matter of truth of the situation now, isn't it? Well, I don't see how you don't got details. We want the full details. And if we don't see that, it's over, bro. It's absolutely over. Okay? So, Fat Joe was talking about African Bambaataa. And everybody know that he got caught, well, he got accused of sexualizing children. Okay? And because all those children was around him, he had like a youth center for hip hop with all the breakdancing and all that stuff. And some men are not able to handle power and have children around them if they don't have their sexuality in check. That's part of being a leader. You gotta have all that in check, buddy. You gotta have morals. That I ain't messing with nobody under 18. That's the bottom line. Well, no. You're not 18, mean you can't do nothing. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Me and you can't do nothing. Okay, that's it. That's it. There ain't nothing else. It's not nothing else to talk about or even think about here. And that's how you gotta be. You gotta be 100. Cause see, some of these kids out here try you. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's not one-sided. And see, that's what the police, these police don't know. In the streets, in the real streets, it's not one-sided. Sometimes these children gonna try you. What about that? You expect me to have morals, don't you? But the child doesn't. The child hasn't arrived to morals, has it? But I'm supposed to have morals. But they don't. They don't get called out for not having morals. When they challenge any good-looking man gonna tell you, oh, a child didn't try you? Yeah, but I passed the test that every man's supposed to pass. If you're a very good-looking man, these children are going to be attracted to you. That's bottom line. And how you handle it is going to show your manhood. Okay? I was 28. I've been like this since my late 20s. You know what I'm saying? That's why you don't got to tell me nothing about how to handle myself among children. I got somebody that can vouch for me. Where clearly a child was attracted to me when I was only like 28. And I treated that as an innocent crush. That's how a real man does. And I try to be a positive role model. You know what I'm saying? Someone that's cool and a positive role model. That's all. You know, and I didn't make any mistakes. I could have, but I didn't. And you know what happened to that little girl? Because she wound up getting, I think something happened to her before that time, before I met her. Because she wound up getting molested by her mother's boyfriend. The last I heard, she wanted to kill herself and all of this stuff, and it was bad. But see, I handled it the right way. When she was attracted to me, God knows, and God is my true witness that I handled it the right way. I was just like a cool big brother, kind of, you know what I'm saying? You know, and just seen it in the right way. Just seen it as I'm just like a cool big brother, seen it the right way, and but some people are not like that. They prey on children, and they prey on the innocence of children. When it could be an innocent crush, where you're just the first attractive guy that she's seen that looked like you, and you're supposed to handle it the right way. You know, you're supposed to be the innocent, just as innocent as she is in the situation. And so, you know, nobody got to tell me about. That's why I'm so offended. You ain't got to tell me about manhood with these children. I mean, I've been practicing that since I was in my late 20s. Well, I got somebody can vouch for what I just told you right here. A woman that's alive right now can vouch and say, yeah, that's right. She was attracted to him and he handled it the right way. So, you know, I mean, and that would be my ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? She seen how I handled that situation. And, you know, so, you know, you ain't got to, and I was like that in my 20s. Now imagine you talking to me and acting like I'm in my 40s. Darn near 20 years later. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm offended. I've been in my manhood. I've been had strength in my manhood. I've been had a backbone, buddy. I've been had a backbone in more than one area. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. With no feelings and no thoughts or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, man, please, bro. That's all I'm saying. You came along questioning, these cops came along questioning my integrity because of my brother. That's what happened. But I already passed tests that you didn't know about. Okay? I already passed tests that you didn't know nothing about. Okay? And how could you know? You don't know me, so unless I tell you. That's only, you don't know me well enough for you to have known. Now you do know that I passed tests with you. That's little stupid stuff you doing. I passed them type of tests in my 20s, buddy. Well, I passed the test enough for me not to get tried like that in my 20s. Now, if these white boys came out here based off these black people talking, that's where it came from. I'm not stupid. It came from black people. And you just had this big wild goose chase, and you want to be right about your wild goose chase, and you're not going to be right. You're not going to be right. And that's your hang up as a white American community. You're not going to be right about me, because I already passed that test a long time ago. And God knows that. I say that before God. And I know God is real. I know God can get rid of anybody. I know God can kill. Do you know God can kill? I don't think you know that God, do you? The God that can kill, you don't know that God, do you? That's 7 out. Yeah, the God that can kill you right now in 2026. Why you think some of these people be dying? Oh, they ain't, you ain't gonna know for sure. Not you. Not you. Because you're not even aware of it. Some of these people leave Earth because, man, listen, they play with God's kingdom, man. They play with God. See, what makes a person humble is to know God can take your life at any time. You're nothing. He could just wipe you out, bro. And it's over with. And guess what? The world goes on. The world goes on without you. You're nothing. We're all nothing. He could take you and it's over. And guess what? Nothing happens. That's the part you don't believe. You die and nothing happens. Nothing stops. That's humility. Humility starts with God. Humility starts with God, bro. I mean, I don't think you can have true humility without God. Because you realize who God is. And that's what humbles you. You realize your place in the universe under God. You see why I say God has to be incorporated into your mind to understand humility. Because you can't be humble without realizing your place in the universe under God. Right? If you don't know that you're under God, right? You're going to be up here like a space cowboy, what I call a space cowboy, flying all around doing stuff until you realize your place in the universe, buddy. You're nothing. You're nothing. See, America jacked you up. That's who did it to you. America jacked you up, buddy. Like a drug. All that culture, all that stuff out here. You know what I'm saying? That's what got you. That's what got you right there. All that culture. That's why I stay up to date with what's going on. But like, as far as the mentality of it and all, I'm too old to have that mentality. But I'm just as cutthroat. I'm just as cutthroat as a 19-year-old young man. I'm just as cutthroat, just in case you think it's a game. I'm not old with my cutthroatness, if you will. No, I'm not an old cutthroat. I'm like one of these young dudes, these young steppers that'll chase you down, bro. That's what I'm trying to show you. I'm tripping out here. You know what I'm saying? Definitely tripping playing with me. But see, humility is I realize my place in the universe that God made. My place is a human being, you know what I'm saying? And and there are certain levels that I can't come to, and none of you can. And when someone thinks they can, that's the beginning of destruction. It's just what it is, bro. The streets can't do it. For these secret society people, what you need to understand, man, my homework to you is to look at the streets, the real killers. They know they place in the universe, even as killers. And you're not esteemed as killers. You're not esteemed as street people. Look at how they carry themselves under God, man. Because they know that God can wipe them out, bro. Like, surf's up, buddy. Get totally wiped out, surf's up. And that's why you watch a lot of black people. That's why we're humble towards God. And you thought it was fake. Now you see it's not. So then you got to renege on, well, I think these people follow religion blindly, whether they be black people, white people in America. Now you got to renege on that. Because now you see all the manifestations that God is doing. So now you see, oh, black people was right. Yeah, we was right. God is real, buddy. And he ain't playing no games. So you got to renege on all that you said about spirituality with God. That's what I'm trying to show you. Like, see, that's why we like this. You should have knew black people, Africans ain't going to follow something blindly unless it's real. It's got to be authentic. So if we're talking about God, if I was white, I would say, well, I'm going to think eventually somebody that's African is going to find this to be fake or authentic. In some way, they're not just going to follow this just off of the head, off the brain, you know, as a good concept of who God is. Nah, it's got to be more to that for them type of people. That's what I believe. For Africans. I can only speak for Africans. You know, God is real to me. I've seen spiritual things. I've seen spiritual things where it is spiritual. You know what I'm saying? I always do. And all the time. And these are the higher levels of spirituality that you get to where you no longer doubt spirituality, because I done seen so much. I know God is real. I mean, I'm talking about spirituality. See, these are the levels that even many black people don't get to in spirituality, where I'm beyond doubting God. I'm not going to do that. I'm beyond them levels because I pushed past religion to spirituality. Now I see spiritual things happen. Spiritual things in the atmosphere that only spiritual people know what I'm talking about. What some people will call orbs. O-R-B-S, orbs. So I see sparkles, lights, orbs. I see that all the time. And you can't explain that. I'm talking about real spiritual orbs, right? That, just for a lack of a better word. But it's what people might call spiritual lights. Many of you have spiritual experiences as Christians, and you can't explain it to nobody because you went to higher levels in God, and now you don't have no reference point in these preachers. These preachers don't talk about the spiritual lights that they see, spiritual orbs. You know, being able to sense witchcraft and demonic oppression. You can hear the ringing in your ears, rumbling in your ears, and all that kind of stuff. I experienced real spiritual things. I went deeper into the spiritual realm to experience to experience spiritual things. So you can't tell me spirituality is not real. That's that's not gonna work. Can I explain the Bible fully? No, I cannot. Can I explain dinosaurs and all this stuff like a little smart guy? No, I can't. All I know is I have spiritual experiences. That's what I'll tell you, buddy. And I know that's real. See, once you get to these higher levels of spirituality, man, listen, I can't tell you about, and I'm not saying this disrespectfully, a book. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you about a book through and through, but I know, and that's God's word, so I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but you see the context of what I'm saying. I can't tell you about a book, but I can tell you about my spirituality with God. I can tell you that it's real. There's no way in the world you can tell me it's not. I know. So, I'm beyond those levels of religion where you might think I'm just blindly following Christianity because my family told me about it or America told me about it. I'm beyond those levels. You know what I mean? And you're in trouble. You know what I'm going to tell you from my level that I'm on? You're in trouble. Because you had, listen, buddy, you played too many games, man. And the truth is, man, listen, man, I want you to look me in my face, man. I've been around real killers, man. You understand me, bro? You ain't gonna never be harder than that to me. Not to me. I don't care what kind of witchcraft you work. It's not gonna be a killer. It's not gonna be somebody that took somebody's life and that person was a child, a teenager, an adult, and they wiped it away. They wiped them away, bro. That person's still dead right now. That's dark. That's evil. And it don't get no harder than that. If you don't know murder, it don't get no harder than murder, bro. I don't care about intentions. That's why I trip off these little suckers' intentions. So what? I eat your intentions for dinner, man. I eat your intentions for breakfast. I don't care nothing about your intentions. Somebody like me, man, especially I done lived here in New York, you should have knew. I done been through all these all type of guys, man. Just through the shelter system. That's street credibility. If you've been through Bellevue, man, that's like credibility on the streets. Cause all them dudes coming from Rikers. Where do you think they coming from? They come straight to the Bellevue, right across the street from the Bellevue Hospital. Them dudes coming from Rikers, bro, cause they ain't got no family. So where you think they gonna come to? The shelter system when they realize they can't go back where they was at? Man, it's right. So it creates a whole street. It creates a whole environment where street principles are applied. Okay? And so that's credibility in New York. I've been around them raspy, Riker type of dudes. I've been around all that. These stocky Riker dudes. Them stocky Riker dudes. Yeah, man. You should have knew that. If I've been through the shelter system, you don't think I was around all them prison dudes? So I was around them either way it went. It's street cred. I'm telling you that going in, man. I wouldn't say that haphazardly if it wasn't true, man. If you've been through the shelter system significantly in New York, especially the further you go back, now all these young kids in there, you know. But if you kind of was in the New York shelter system, I would say from the 90s up until about 2015, that's street cred. That's street cred. You're around nothing but felons and everything, bro. I mean, and they can't save you in any situation. I don't know about now, but the guards was just kind of walking through. You know, if somebody wants you, man, you ain't gonna make it. If they bring that to that Bellevue shelter, you out of here, bro. That prison mentality, all that, you ain't gonna make it. I held my head through all them situations. I maintained who I was and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, if that's what you've been around, that's what you've been around. If you encounter that, that's what you encounter, man. And that's the proof in the pudding. That's all it's about. If you was around a whole bunch of dudes from Rikers in the shelter system, I ain't trying to hear none of the shelter part. See, a sucker gonna think about why you think about the shelter part? I'm thinking about who he is around. Yeah, who he's living around. He was around these Riker dudes. Yeah, and they ain't gonna tell you that. They ain't, because they don't want to scare you, but they should have some disclaimers with that paperwork. Cause you're around all these Riker dudes. They should have some type of disclaimer, like if this happens, be aware that you're around people from. Yeah, they should, especially for these young dudes. You're around a lot of people from Rikers. I ain't know nothing about it. I came up into that, man, and just maintained who I was. That's how you know who really got the goods, man. I mean, I didn't even know this. I didn't put this all together. That basically these people coming from Rikers. So this basically is like an extension of the prison system after they get out of prison. Basically, and which means the mentality is in there was basically prison mentality. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? And you maintain yourself, you didn't get broken. This one dude say, that's what we do. We make them or break them. But he didn't know I already was made. You know what I'm saying? But he seen that I wasn't broken. You know what I'm saying? He seen I held my head and made it through this prison system, man. I mean through Bellevue. You know what I'm saying? So, and I've been to Wards Island. Woo! Prison dudes don't want to go there. Dudes from Rikers don't want to go to Wards Island, boy. Wards Island? That's the worst thing in New York. At least in my time. That's the worst thing. Wards Island was crazy, boy. And then it lives up to its reputation, man, because of it's not the violence, it's the mental sickness. It's thick. Ooh, it's real thick. Like Bellevue got some mental sickness, but Wards Island, it's just thick. It's thick with mental sickness, bruh. That's what make you wanna, if that's how you know you're in your right mind, cause you don't blend in with that, man. I could never stay there all day. You can sit there all day, but nah, ain't no way in the world. I used to get out of there every morning. It was no choice, man. It was no choice. That's how you survive. That's how the real ones survive. I can't be in Wards Island just sitting there in the middle of mental sickness like that. Nah. But I've been through Wards Island. That's what I'm saying. You and New Yorkers know, okay, we respect that. Cause that dude done been through Wards Island, Bellevue, okay. Mental sickness thick. Like, where do I go? Like that kind of stuff, man. Like, yeah. See, some females, that's why I don't take disrespect for females. Females don't even know about Wards Island, man. You wouldn't know because it's all male. I'm talking about the all male Wards Island. You couldn't possibly know about that, man. You couldn't possibly know. Unless you was a security there or something. That's why I carry myself like this. I'm not sexist. I just feel that there's certain things, a certain path that a man has that a woman ain't gonna walk through. So how dare she try you and she can't walk through your path? Makes sense. It's that simple. It's that simple for me. It's nothing else. If she can go to Rikers, she can go to Bellevue with all them dudes coming home from Rikers like I do. If she can go to Wards Island and hold her head and make it through that like I did, then she can see me eye to eye as a man, like me and her on the same level. Until then, nah. That's how you know I ain't a punk. A punk puts a female on his level. A man doesn't. A punk think him and her eye to eye, we gonna fight it out and we gonna argue back and forth. No, we ain't gonna do none of that. I'm a man, you're a woman. Okay? And I'm not saying I can't argue with you or you can't argue with me, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah, nah. That's how you know I ain't a punk. A punk, and I'm not saying as in gay. I mean, just a punk. Period. You know, think a woman is on his a woman is not able to live the same life you live as a man. She isn't held to the same standards of living as you are. She's not given the same responsibility. A man is expected to go out here and find his way and work and earn his way. A woman can do nothing and people feel sorry for her. Her working is almost an option in our community in America. You, as a man, working is not an option for you to get certain people's respect. The most of the community is not going to respect you if you're not working. Now, a woman is not held to that full standard. If she's not working, oh, well, let's get her some help. Well, let's help her out. They ain't going to help you. A woman on the street, she get all kind of help. A woman in her right mind, listen, you get off the street pronto, buddy. You get off the street pronto. If you're a woman in your right mind and you on the streets, I'm not saying it can't happen because things have changed a lot in this community, but there's so many resources to help women because women can get raped on the streets. That's the main reason they get women off the streets. So then, I mean, with that being said, man, the system is going to help you a lot quicker. They're going to have a lot more compassion and lead you in some type of direction to get you off the streets. They will. And if you're willing to put your best foot forward, man, you're gonna be in a good situation as a woman. You ain't gonna never live like a man. You ain't gonna never go through what a man goes through. A man has to carry the responsibility of fending for himself, and that's how people look at it. They ain't gonna help you but so much. Nah, not really. Not really. A woman can get all the help in the world, man. You know, you might be in front of a Walmart and well, we just want to help you. You know, they get you a motel room and everything because you're a woman. You get a motel, they might get you a motel for a couple months just because you're a female. A man ain't getting no, because they expect you to go fend for yourself and go out here and work, and they wondering why you can't work. That's how this society is built. So with that being said, you know, a woman doesn't go down a man's path, and that's why I don't let women challenge me, because that's the first reason. That's the first reason. If you live, it ain't about just being a man or merely a man or you're merely a woman. It's about you don't live my lane. You don't live in my lane. You ain't gonna go through, you ain't gonna have to carry the responsibility that a man has to carry. Not at all. Nope. You might work, but you still don't got you ain't gonna be still held to the same standard that I'm held to. Therefore, you ain't gonna live life through my eyes. You ain't gonna never do it. You ain't gonna never be able to go through Bellevue with all them Riker dudes and go through Ward's Island with all them crazy men in there. A woman ain't gonna go through that. And we know the difference between men energy and woman energy. You ain't gonna go through Bellevue with all them Riker dudes and then go through Ward's Island with all them crazy men in there. No. And come out with your head, you still got your head. That's how you know you built to win. That's how you know you God's child. You know what I'm saying? I came through all of that, man, and I'm still in my right mind. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Imagine somebody that of a different gender that will never go through that and is not expected to go through it. Now imagine that person trying to challenge me, and you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. See, that's why you gotta just listen to everybody from a different ear, bro. Like, that's my whole thing, and that's it, and all to it. That's all to it. When a woman start living my lane, okay, then you can get here and talk politics like me and everything like that. Till then, bro, sorry. Two different lanes. That's what it is. And you ain't gonna never. I don't care what you do. You can have guns. You can be a hustler and everything like that. But you ain't gonna never get thrown in Ward's Island, not the man side. You ain't gonna never get thrown in Bellevue, not the man side. So then that's it. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Now the last person is Jay-Z. Jay-Z in the song "The Devil Is a Lie," he talked about the black Jesus and the white Jesus in terms of cocaine in the stove. The pot was the black Jesus. So he said, I turned the white Jesus, mix it with the black Jesus, and all I had to do was turn the stove up. And something with water into wine and all of that. No, man, like, that's blasphemous, bro. That's the worst thing Jay-Z ever said. And then the funny thing about it, it's on the song "The Devil Is a Lie." That's the funny thing about it. That's the funny thing about it to me. It's not a godly song. It's not a song that totally resists the perspective of the devil, man. So, you know, Jay-Z, you can't mock Jesus Christ, man. You can't. And even making that movie, that's kind of how I guess he tried to get past it. But that still is that a man is gonna say, you know what, I was wrong for bringing Jesus up. Because this is my thing, if you would have brought Muhammad from Islam, if you would have said something about the white Muhammad into the black Muhammad with the cocaine, Muslims would have been on your head, bro. They can play with they can play with Christianity, but in the rap music, but they can't play with Islam in the rap music. No, they can't. No, man, because a random Muslim that don't really know Jay-Z will just hear about this American rapper talking about the Prophet Muhammad, and they gonna take offense, man. Like they gonna just snap, like they would in any situation. Where someone says something against the Prophet Muhammad and it's a debate and all of this, and then they go see that you reference to the Prophet Muhammad as cocaine. Once they realize what that is, how you said it, and you talking about cocaine as the Prophet Muhammad, they gonna have, you can't play with Christianity, Islam like that. But over here, because Christians ain't built tough, man, and they don't speak up, you know, people can play with Christianity, they can't play with Islam. I promise you that. And that even go for these gay people, lesbian people. They'll talk about how the Christians is against them or whatever they got against Christians. But you notice they don't talk about Muslims. Muslims hate you more than we do. Man, a Muslim man will look at you with disgust. I'm keeping 100 with you. A Muslim man will about halfway spit on you if you even try to talk to him. Especially in another country. In another country, if you was a tranny, man, a Muslim man would spit on you, man. Just for you talking to him. He don't even want you to talk to him. That's what I'm saying. Christians ain't we don't act like that. A Muslim hates you, man. A Muslim will kill you. In the wrong country, they will kill you. Show me in the world where Christians will kill gay people. That's 7 out. Show me in the world. Show me what country in the world where Christians will kill gay people. Oh, I can show you in the world where Muslims will kill gay people. So then I feel like that it's a coward position to come against Christians, and then Muslims hate you a million times worse. And how we prove that? Because they kill gay people in the world. Muslims kill gay people. That's how you need to hear it. Christians ain't doing that. We stand on the word of God. That's what we do. Okay? So but you'll find these Muslims that will you know, you get them in the right situation, man, they'll definitely do it to you. And don't be saying something to them. Don't be talking about the Prophet Muhammad or something. Oh yeah, they gonna make sure that happens. So like, Like Jay-Z said something about Jesus and turning Jesus, white Jesus, into the black Jesus. How you gonna talk about white Jesus as cocaine when what it did to the black community? That's what I'm saying. How could you ever reference Jesus Christ the Messiah, as cocaine, seeing what it did to black people, seeing what it did to black families? The rapper gonna talk about the money part of cocaine. Let's talk about the destroyed families of from cocaine. How could you talk about Jesus? And the white Jesus represents the cocaine. The black Jesus is the pot, right? To cook the crack in. You know what I mean? Anybody that kind of got an idea of the streets know what it is. So it's cooking the cocaine on the stove, right? So he act like that was a miracle, like turning the water into wine by putting the cocaine with the black pot. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel that at all, bro. Jesus is too honorable. Jesus is totally honorable and righteous and holy. And that's how I don't esteem these people as my equals. When you talk about Jesus as cocaine and crack, and you see what it did to the community, bro, it's not even taking a cheap shot at it. I'm a Christian, right? Okay, so you can't say, oh, I'm just taking a cheap shot at Jay-Z because I don't like him. You can't say that. You already know I'm a Christian. So, of course, I'm going to be offended. But how they try to make up for it was to make some Jesus movie, man. That ain't making up for it, bro. To make up for it is, I ain't gonna receive no more royalties and payments from this song, and I take this song out of my catalog. That's how you tell these rappers. If you said something against Jesus in a song where it was crazy, take that song out your catalog. Literally. Don't get paid from it no more. Take it away from your list of songs and everything. Take it out your catalog. You didn't think I knew that term, did you? Catalog for music. Listen, take the song out your catalog. That's how you make up for it. But you still low-key getting bread off of it. You know what I'm saying? Because somebody downloading it. Somebody downloading that song here and there. You know what I'm saying? So you still eating off that song. See, that's how I see it. If you 100 and being in a repentful state, then just don't eat from the song no more. Take it away out your catalog, where people don't even see that as part of your catalog. That's how you do it. Don't say, oh, this is how I make up for it. I make up this Jesus movie, but I'm still low-key eating off this other movie, this song. So for people that thought that I will ultimately have to face the likes of Jay-Z, that's why I won't. I don't see that. It ain't no way in the world I will make a mistake like that. I ain't never talked about Jesus in the sense of cocaine. That's the first thing I'm gonna think. Okay, cocaine destroyed black people. That's the first thing I'm going to think. That's as a Christian, as a man of God. First thing I'm gonna think, hold up, cocaine? Nah, I can't say that. See, some people, man, their arrogance make them think they can even talk about Jesus in a certain way. You know what I mean, though? Like, even his name Hov is supposed to be short for Jehovah, right? That's wrong too. That's wrong, man. Nah, I don't feel that. You might look at what ODB call himself Baby Jesus. But Baby Jesus is kind of putting yourself under Jesus, though, when you say Baby Jesus. Because ODB did call himself Baby Jesus, But it's understood, right? Jehovah is to say you're like Jehovah. Like, come on, man. You might could have said Jehovah Jr. or something like that, Jehovah Jr. But see, that don't seem cool. That don't seem like the big guy. You know, this person wants to be Jehovah. And nah, come on, man. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel it. And then Jay-Z really don't have the hottest punchlines and witty rhymes, really, man. Like MC, I mean, I call it big boy rap. You know what I'm saying? When you bragging about this, bragging about that, you talking about money, you talking about, but like, is Jay-Z a bar for bar witty rapper where he says rhymes that I've never heard before? Nah. Like, that's what I look for. Like, I come from the 90s, man. You can't bamboozle me. Like, for MCs, I look for rhymes that I expect you to say something that I ain't never heard. Like, okay, that was hot. I ain't never heard that before. Not quite like that. But just laying back on it like a big dog. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of rappers that came along and did that. And it's no disrespect, kind of like Master P, even Birdman. That's like the big boy rap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Birdman is not a rapper or MC or Master P is not MCs, but that's the lane of like the big boy rap. Jay-Z is with the Master P's and the Birdmans, where they talk about their life and they can do this and that. But MCing like bar for bar, the big boy rap ain't gonna really do that. And I say that respectfully for Birdman, you know what I'm saying? Because one thing I like about him, and I'm not condoning his lifestyle, but when people salute him like he in the streets, Birdman, you could tell he's still in the streets. You could tell. Jay-Z he networks with the streets. It's a big difference. Birdman is in the streets. Birdman is out in the streets. That's why if you had to tell me who is the biggest gangster in rap, it's Birdman. Even above Master P, nah, Birdman is number one, bro. If you're a real one and you really pay attention and you really look at it for what it is, man. If you open your eyes and pay attention, that's the biggest gangster in rap. Ain't like real gangster, street gangster, man. You could tell how he carry himself. That dude is still in the streets. You could tell that. You could tell that. You could tell because he ain't involved with all this corny stuff that all these other rappers is involved in. You know what I'm saying? You could tell that. But like, these other rappers, man, they network with the streets. And you can't have your cake and eat it too, bro. Like, if you want that top spot of respect in the streets, you gotta be out here in the streets. That never changes. I don't care what people say. That never changes. That big boy position where you sitting back and you don't gotta be out here, nah. Birdman is still among the streets. That's what I'm saying. He's still out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's somebody I take seriously when you talk about the streets, man. And the reason why it's not even out of preference. It's out of this dude is still out here, bro. You could tell. So who you gonna respect? This dude that started doing all kind of songs with everybody else, and it ain't even really the streets no more. Jay-Z doing songs with Justin Timberland and all this stuff and all of this, man. And all this stuff and all this other endeavors and all this stuff they doing. Jay-Z is just like a household name. He went beyond the streets. And it's not, I ain't hating on that, but he went beyond the streets and just started being a household name. You know what I'm saying? And he went along with that persona. And you gotta admit it. He went with the money and with the persona of being this household name. So he can't be in a Birdman's position. He can't be like Birdman. Because he can't get that number one spot for money. But number one spot for the streets, you can't have both. You can't have both. You go with number one spot for the money, you can't get number one spot in the streets. You can't, because there's certain things people ain't gonna respect. On either side. or either side. Like, you know, if you like Birdman, it's some money chasing people that just think, nah, we don't respect. You know, we think he could be more refined and do all this other stuff over here. You know what I'm saying? Corny stuff though. You know, and then so he you know, even though he got a lot of money, Birdman could do a lot of corny stuff for other money. You know what I'm saying? And some people do corny stuff for money. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z gets all the money. He gets all types of money. And listen, that's his claim to fame, literally, man. It's like just getting money. That's it. But you can't. It's more that than anything. When people think about Jay-Z, they think about all the money he got, right? They don't really even think about the raps. Tell me a line, a bar that Jay-Z, the most impressive rap line that Jay-Z made to you. You don't got none of the lines, and you can go through Mobb Deep, find lines in your head. You be running for dear life, so far you might fall off the map. Running from P, you need the gap. At least you had the opportunity to buzz back. I mean, that's a rapper. That's Prodigy from Mobb Deep. You be running for dear life, so far you might fall off the map. Messing with D, messing with P, you need the gap. At least you had an opportunity to buzz back. You know what I'm saying? In the ghetto near you, in the projects near you, I'll be right there. That man say, in a project near you. Like a ghetto near you. He said, in a project near you, I'll be right there. I was brought up to told to have no fear. You know what I'm saying? Like, just like the lines are there. Things that stick with you. I don't have none of that with Jay-Z. Like, nah. That's what I'm saying. He got that big boy rap. It's okay. You know, he not the only one. You know what I'm saying? But do I think he the top MC? No. Ain't no New York. If you 100 with yourself, you feel the same way. He ain't that #1 MC, man. Come on, stop playing. Stop playing, bro. I'm talking about you, especially as a New Yorker. You feel he got the hardest rhymes, lyrics, bar for bar? No. I would go with Rakim. Rakim before I go with Jay-Z. Rakim got the whole, he's the full rapper, and then he was really a gangster and he didn't want to put it in the music. How much more, that's a person you respect. Rakim chose not to put the music, his street life in the music. And then he was just a straight MC. How can you not respect it? He ain't have to lean on being a street dude. He just came in as a rapper. And didn't come off corny. You can't listen. Rakim is probably I would say the #1 MC, bro, of all time. Like, yeah, Rakim probably, you know what I'm saying? Cause off the cuff. Cause he everything that you want your MC to be. You know what I'm saying? He's everything. That's what I look for. The #1 MC is he's everything you want a rapper to be. That's what he gotta be. He gotta be everything. You know what I'm saying? He can't be half of it. He's everything you want your rapper to be. Rakim is #1. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I just think about that #1 spot, man. You know, Rakim, you can't compare Big Daddy Kane to Rakim. You can't compare the two. Nah. I go back to those times. Father MC, Kwame, that's what, you know what I'm saying? D-Nice. You know what I'm saying? I go back to that time. Kwame, Father MC, and I listen to all of them too. Father MC, treat them like you wanna be treated. You should treat them right. Father MC, man. Father MC and Kwame with the polka dots. You know what I'm saying? Rakim, you know what I mean? But as far as bona fide street, I mean, Eazy-E is immortal. There's no gangster persona above Eazy-E. Nah. Show me one. Told like through and through in one of the hardest neighborhoods in the whole country. Compton on top of that. At the worst time, Eazy-E is the top #1 gangster persona of all time. Ice Cube, no. MC Ren, all of that. I grew up on all of that. MC Ren was 100 too. He underrated. MC Ren was real. I think I bought one MC Ren album back in the day. I think I actually did. Yeah, I think I did. I think I bought one MC Ren album. You know, yeah, man, but you know, yeah, Eazy-E is that #1 top gangster persona of all time. That's hands down. I mean, even you could say he wasn't selling kilos or whatever, but just that whole persona that just made everyone understand what it was to be a gangster and all of that stuff, that street stuff and all of that, man. That's Eazy-E. I grew up on Eazy-E. I used to listen to Eazy-E in a boombox, and as a kid, I used to listen to Eazy-E. So when he was alive, you know, so, you know, yeah, some people didn't listen to Eazy-E when he was alive. That's a big punchline. So, you know, yeah, I used to listen to NWA, Eazy-E. I done had Eazy-E tapes with just Eazy-E on it. Real G's, I had that one. You know what I'm saying? With the instrumental on it, had the instrumental and everything. But you know, so like nobody's ever gonna be considered. I mean, and it could be dudes with more street credibility or bigger, longer street credibility, but Eazy-E is gonna be just still that one guy. Like, they can't fade that. Ain't nobody can fade it. You can't find nobody like with that street persona. You know what I'm saying? Eazy-E is, to me, even Tupac. That's why Tupac couldn't touch. He ain't say nothing about Eazy, because Tupac couldn't. It wouldn't even sound right for him. He'd sound like a little teenager kid talking about Eazy-E. You know what I mean? Nobody. Tupac couldn't touch Eazy-E. He was just more funky, more dirty, more greedy, more. And then he was from Compton on top of that, you know, nah. Yeah, you know, so one of the most feared communities if you notice, Tupac really didn't really gravitate to one hood, one community. He said LA, but he wasn't born there. We know he was born in New York. He took his first breath here in New York City, so that's things that people don't think about with Tupac. He was born here. He was born in New York. He was born in New York. What that tell you? And he went to school in Baltimore. So he was East Coast too. You know, but Eazy-E was just Compton. You know what I'm saying? At that time when he came out with that too, that was just one of the most feared neighborhoods and the most feared communities in the whole country. So for us, you know, Eazy-E is always gonna be that #1 gangster persona, man, hands down. Ain't nobody gonna ever top that. This is what it is. And so, but you know, so you know, it's just understanding, man, putting everything in proper perspective, man. You know, putting everything in proper perspective. You like Jay-Z, you like the big boy rap, that's cool. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But bar for bar, where like witty rhymes, like for me, New York, Mobb Deep, that's Wu-Tang, that's lyrics. Jay-Z and Wu-Tang, they could never do. I mean, nah. It's just nah. It wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I go more with the lyric. I want you to say something I ain't never heard. That's what I expect. If I don't hear, if you say something I ain't never, if you say something I've heard in so many ways, like you've done this, you've done that, and we you know, that's big boy rap. But what makes it so powerful is it's true. Like, okay, all the stuff this person is saying is true. That's what makes it authentic. That's what makes people believe in it. Yeah, it's true, but lyrically, it's just not the best. It's true, but it's not the best lyrics. But it's true. It's a true story. I'm not saying Jay-Z is not a true story. You know, but the lyrics, but being honest, the lyrics, man, come on. Be real. That's not Wu-Tang. That's not Method Man. Come on, man. Method Man still have said stuff that nobody ain't said. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, bro. I had the Method Man to Cow album. To Cow. Pass it over here now. To Cow. What's that? That they be smoke. To Cow. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to Cow when I was like 16 years old on a 15-inch speaker with 400 watts. Booming it. I was booming it. I had the whole album. Biscuits, all that, Sub Crazy. Yo, mama don't wear no I seen it when she took them off. Standing in the welfare line, eating swine, trying to get mine. With a stink. Let the cow got styles for your neck. I even tell your mama you ain't. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's just like, see, that's what impact a rapper's supposed to have, where you have the lyrics, stuff they said that, you know what I'm saying? If that don't happen, that's how I was groomed, man. You know, from the down south, from the East Coast. Like, if you ain't got, you gotta have them bars that, okay, nobody said this. That's what I'll pride myself on. Okay, I know nobody said this right here. You know what I'm saying? I know nobody said this. For sure. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a good rapper, you've heard other people say bars close to yours. That's how you know you're an MC. Oh, I got a bar almost close to that. I almost said that. You know what I'm saying? I done that when I used to rap. I done had bars and I'm like, oh, I heard somebody else say something like that. So you know, that's what I expect of my MC, man. You know what I'm saying? Big body, big boy persona and all of that. That's cool and all of that. I mean, you know, for what it is and what they do over there, but it don't get the same respect as an MC, man. Like, you know, they can just go in and some people think you just hating. I'm not hating, bro. I'm just putting everything in proper perspective. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I really mean. I'm putting everything in proper perspective. Criticism don't mean you hating all the time. It's a whole lane of criticism. It is. Look at what I've been through. Look at the criticism I've been through. And Biggie, who's right there with Jay-Z, look at Biggie. Biggie had all kind of lines. He had all kind of witty lines. I got all kind of lines in my head that Biggie said. I bought the Biggie album. I had the Life After Death album. I had the whole 2 CDs. I used to listen to Biggie all the time. But my story is I never listened to Tupac. I mean, I never had a Tupac album. I had a Biggie album. I didn't have a Tupac album. That's my story. I never bought a Tupac album a day in my life. But I bought a Biggie album. And I listened to all the songs. It was a lot of songs that I liked on that album, man. But lines, just bars, and that's what I'm talking about. That's what I expect of my MC, man. Is you know, have the best bars. You know, Biggie probably would be in my top 5 because just from where he came from here in Brooklyn, and just an organic New York MC story. You know what I'm saying? The whole thing, just organic. I look for that organic essence. When you talk about hip hop, it's coming from right here in New York. So you're gonna get a couple out of the top 5 that come from New York. That has to happen. That has to happen because this is more of the essence of where it happened. So how you ain't gonna have in your top 5 if you're real honest with yourself for what the essence of nature of hip hop is. If you got that real nature of what hip hop is, how you ain't gonna have New York in it? That's just your preference, but I guess that's what it boils down to. But I guess my top 5 is not based on my preference. It's just who is the best. I'm gonna look at all the things that add up that everybody agree. Like Rakim is probably number 1. Cause how you know? Cause can't nobody fade him. Show me somebody that can fade Rakim. Can't nobody fade him. I can show you a million people can fade Jay-Z. And if we talking about lyrics and all, come on, bro. But show me somebody that can fade Rakim. Show me an MC that can fade him. Nobody, man. Nobody can. Nah. That's how you know. That's how you know who's the best. Put them up against anybody, and it's just can't nobody fade him, man. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. Like Biggie had like I would say maybe Biggie definitely is in my top 5 because of just where he came from in New York and Brooklyn and all of that. The organic story of being here from New York and to Brooklyn and that organic story. And then how he handled his beef with Pac and all of that. His story is so tragic, man. Because Tupac is the one that ruined his career, man. Halfway bipolar, talking about acting like Biggie did something to him. Halfway bipolar, acting like Biggie did something to the man. Biggie ain't do nothing to him. Tupac really wasn't no street dude, bro. How we know? I think he was a soldier, you know, and he did shoot somebody. He shot that undercover cop in Atlanta, right? But how we know he really wasn't, this is why I talk about principles, rules and regulations. How we know Pac didn't have no rules and regulations? Not like he ain't have, not all the way. Because he thought Biggie and Puffy had something to do with him getting robbed. Okay, why would I rob you as you're coming to my studio? Which the police could put that together. Why would I do that? Number one, that's number one. Number two, why wouldn't you consider that New York robbed you? You're here in New York, buddy. In the 90s, that's what I'm talking about. New York did that to you. That's what I would have thought. If I went to New York and got robbed, I would have thought, and everybody know my face and everything, I would have thought, oh, New York did that. Think about it. You got them, and at that time, you had them sharp stick-up kids. You know what I mean? We're talking about the 90s, right? They were trained by the best. How you gonna think Biggie and them had that? You was in New York. That's what got you robbed, man. And Tupac was probably walking all around talking to people. You know how he is. His personality, he probably talking to females, talking to people and everything. He probably went about a pack of cigarettes. My whole thoughts about that, Tupac probably walked blocks and blocks buying cigarettes and buying Philly blunts, because that's what everybody smoked back then. Newports, Philly blunts, and might have got some beer, some liquor or something. Might have got probably got a fifth. Probably got a fifth of vodka, a couple fifths of vodka. I suspect. I want to hear the whole story of how Tupac got to the studio. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear people talk about. Because my idea is Tupac was lingering around before he went into the studio building, where he might have went to the corner stores, the bodegas, and people see it's Tupac. Tupac talking to him, trying to show love, smoking cigarettes with people, hanging out, and people seen his face. And if you don't know New York, you don't know how to look from block to block. You ain't got that New York eye. It could have been some dudes in the cut right there, right before he got to the building, that knew famous people was coming out that building. They knew famous people. That's what got it. Stick Up Kids was watching people coming in and out of that building. Puff and Big had all kind of women and people coming out that building. That's what it was. So then the streets knew they were trying to catch somebody slipping. That's what it was. That's what it was. That's my theory. That's the bottom line. Somebody was watching that building, real good Stick Up Kids, and they knew people was coming out the building. They probably seen it with women. That's probably what caught their attention. They seen all the fly women coming out of the studio. All these fly women coming out of the studio. You keep looking and seeing all these people coming out of there. Think about it. What you gonna think? Dude sitting out there smoking a cigarette, fronting and everything, got a suit on and everything. What you thinking? Oh man, we can get some. That's what a street dude gonna think. That's what happened to Tupac, man. And if it was me, if he said he New York as he was, then you should have knew. You know how to. This is the streets. This is New York. That's how you got robbed. You was in New York. Now if you was in Nebraska, in the sticks, at a studio, then I would say, oh well, ain't no how that happened, and ain't nobody around here. Then I would feel like maybe, I don't know. Cause we out here in the sticks, what's the odds, the timing that I get to the studio and I get robbed in Nebraska? New York City? Anybody could have robbed you here. And that's what I expected him to acknowledge as a bona fide street dude. Tupac wasn't a bona fide street dude first, because we know with his situation in New York. Any bona fide street dude gonna say, well, anybody could have robbed me in New York. That's the first thing you're gonna think. Anybody could have done that. Oh yeah, that's Tupac. Oh, I'm finna get him. Or you got gold on, don't even know who you are. Dudes don't even know, these old school robbers. Oh, don't let it be one of them. All they see is the gold, everything like that. You fresh, and then Tupac might have stepped out, smoked a cigarette. You know how his personality was. He might have smoked a cigarette. Who knows what he did? He might have walked 10 blocks from, back to try to get some liquor. He got to the studio, might have went down the block to try to get some liquor and some cigarettes. Think about it. He smoked cigarettes. So you don't think he gonna go buy some more cigarettes once he get to the studio? Of course, think about it. He probably backtrack and say, well, I'm gonna go walk down here and try to get some cigarettes. I'm in New York, I wanna get out here and walk around a little bit anyway. Think about it. I'm gonna give me some cigarettes, and when I'm at it, I might ask somebody at the store, with a liquor store. I cut down another block, get the cigarettes, get some liquor. I'm gonna get some blunts. Think about it, he gonna come in there with blunts and everything. Think about it. I figure he went around the area, the vicinity of the area where the studio was, getting cigarettes, blunts, and liquor. Those three. And somebody peeped him from a distance and may have followed him. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't say nothing was in his hand, but they ain't say he had no bottles or nothing like that. But I think he might have got some cigarettes. Think about that. That's how you know Tupac wasn't no bona fide street principal dude. Some people ain't bona fide street principal. Me, I would have sat back and thought about that long enough. Nah, yeah, that wasn't big. Nah, that wasn't big. Because if it was big, Why would they do it so open like that? And what would they get from me getting robbed? What would they get from that? Let's just say, and then Funkmaster Flex said he shot himself. He ain't actually get shot. That's the other holes in the story, is that Funkmaster Flex said that here in New York that he ain't get shot. He shot himself with his own gun. I heard that story, which makes sense for him to get shot in the loins, in the lower body. I mean, it kind of does add up. But, because I don't know no dude who gonna shoot for the lower body. It's wasting up. Yeah, so that does kind of add up. But, you know, man, you know, I don't try to, I'm not, you still can't take from his legacy. He was one of the best. He was one of the best, and that's not what I'm trying to do. Like I said, always, I'm trying to put everything in proper perspective. And now you see I'm not biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm not biased towards nobody. I'm going to just always put things in the proper perspective. Pac wasn't really no, he didn't have this, how we know he didn't really have that down ghetto street principles, because he didn't apply when he got robbed here in New York. If you got robbed here in New York, bro, first thing I'm gonna acknowledge, it could have been anybody. All these people, all these street people. That's the first thing I'm gonna think about. I'm gonna express that in so many words. At some point, I'm gonna say, anybody could have robbed me in New York. I realize that. Yeah, anybody could have done that. And then, you know, you don't think they know Diddy and all of them in the studio? All them fly women coming out, all these people coming in and out, that traffic, that's what did it. All that traffic coming in and out. See, that's how a criminal gonna think. That's another thing. I don't think Tupac had that real criminal mentality. If you got criminal mentality, you're gonna think like a criminal. You're gonna say, all these people coming in and out of the building. That's what made somebody sit back and wanna go and wanna rob somebody coming out that building. That's what it was. You sitting back watching, okay. You see flying women, and then you see the dudes, that's when you think about robbing somebody. And well, some robbers might think about robbing the women too. But that's what's gonna get you. That's what's gonna get you. Is all these good people that look like they got money coming out that building. That's gonna stick out. Somebody else might put you on to it. Yo, let's go down here, man. I seen these dudes down there coming out this building. One of them dudes. Yeah, man, I got this spot, man. Like, we can go down there and chill. Yo, it's all kind of fly women coming out of the building and everything, yo. We're gonna come down there and chill. You know what I'm saying? Just post up, man. Get a bottle. Post up. You know what I mean? Let's see what happens, man. You know what I'm saying? They seen Tupac come out of it. Boom, that's it, man. That's why they went for it like that. Think about it. They seen Tupac. Oh, yeah, we got this. This dude, I know he got about $2,000 or $3,000 on him or something like that. That's all it was, man. You was in New York. See, that's what I'm saying. I expect people to have the smarts to be able to analyze things as criminals would. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, that's what comes with it. You got to be able to do that, man. So that's how you're going to get down to the crux of the matter. How figure out what happened. And figure out what happened, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, so because he didn't acknowledge that and never acknowledged that, that's why I take points off as far as a criminal mentality and understanding the streets and street principles and rules and regulations. It's something you will understand, especially in a city like this in New York. Anybody in he could have done that. Anybody, but you gonna blame Big and them ain't gonna do that, man. You know what I'm saying? Nah. And that's why it's such a sad situation that he, you know, because Tupac didn't have no street smarts to the highest level, you know. It escalated from him thinking that Biggie plot to set him up and everything, man. Ain't no way in the world I would have thought that, because he don't get nothing out of it. That's the first thing you gotta think about. He don't get nothing out of it. He ain't getting nothing out of you getting robbed. You gonna still be rapping if you get robbed. You gonna still be rapping. He don't get nothing out of that. Think about it. Okay, he ain't getting nothing out of that. You know, why would you do that? I mean, nah, it don't make sense. That don't add up, bro. And then right in our vicinity where people would think it was us, New York, people that know crime ain't gonna do that. People that think in terms of crime is not gonna do that. No, 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 no. See, Tupac was doing movies and all of that. Tupac thought about stuff like that you see in the movies. You somebody robbing you, you know, you came into a building and people set you up in the building. That's some movie stuff, bro. That ain't real life. See, some people connect to the movie part of the streets and they bring it out here in the streets, and they wind up having problems because you bring the streets or you bring the movies or the music to the streets, and if you don't really know how the streets move, you think it moves like the music or the movies. And in Tupac's case, it was more like the movies, man. That's some stuff in the movies, man. In the real streets ain't, nah, they ain't gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That you was a victim to New York criminals. That's what it was. New York criminals did that. That's all. It's not even hard to understand. All these robbers, all these people around here, especially in the 90s, and then you had people coming in and out of that building. That's the main thing. The traffic coming in and out of that building. That's how a criminal gonna think. That's obviously who did that. People plotting on that building, seeing that building. That's all it was. And I expect a straight street dude, a criminal, to be able to break that down like that. I ain't got a magic wand. I mean, how come they couldn't break it down? That's all I'm saying, man. I'm gonna keep coming back on it.